All right, everybody, welcome out to the Lager and Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, January the 21st, 2025. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
More.
What are you eating there, Mr. Samurai? What are you eating today?
Little addictive freaking cookies.
You're eating a little dick, did you say? What did you say?
Little addictive little cookies.
A little addictive little cookies. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
shit,
couldn't quite hear you.
It's because you're getting old.
Yeah, that's it.
Or maybe it's all the crunching in your ear.
That could be it. It could be a little combination of both, too.
These things are so good.
You get them at Buc-ee's, did you? Buc-ee's.
First time at Buc-ee's was over, not over the weekend, just before the weekend. I was on a road trip with my son. Maybe we'll get into that. Maybe we won't. We'll see. But, God, these might go pretty well with my first beer, actually.
Well, you'll have to find out. I mean, just eat one of them and see.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe a second, third, fourth, 500th, whatever. Should have got more than one container, though, of those cookies.
I did. One's gone already.
There you go. Well, that makes sense, Nate. Yeah, anyway. Well, it's not quite what you're eating, but happy granola day.
It's Happy Granola Bar Day.
Happy granola bar day.
Well, actually, I don't know if these count. These are like Fig Newtons, right? So that's not really granola.
That's not really granola. Yeah, it's figs
and a Biscoff
cookie around the figs.
And a Biscoff cookie doesn't count either.
I love your chair.
You like that?
I love your chair.
I have oiled this 10,000 times and every different. I'm probably
maybe it's your ass.
It might just be my bones creaking. It may
not it could be. It's not the chair's fine. Silence. There you go. Yeah. Well, chew. Maybe the crunching will drown out the sound of the chair.
There we go.
There you go.
These are nice, crispy little cookies.
There you go. Well, and of course you can't help but wash down a good granola bar with some New England clam chowder.
Dip it in the clam chowder first.
Dip it right in the clam chowder. There you go. Happy National New England Clam Chowder Day to those who celebrate, of course.
I'm also stunned right now because I just accomplished something which I think needs to be journaled.
What's that?
And recognized. Well, I got a new USB cable, normal USB on one end, micro USB on the other for my old ass tablet.
Your old ass tablet?
Yeah, it's an ass tablet. Just put it right up there. It's fizzes. It's great. No, you put one end, and I put both ends in. Mm-hmm. First try.
Well, kudos to you on that one.
Seriously, how often can you get a USB in on the first try? It's normally you're doing it right the first time, but you think you're doing it wrong. You flip it upside down, and then you flip it back over again.
That is true.
I was really, really shocked, and I can't say even proud of myself. I think it was just luck, just dumb luck.
What's that?
Emphasis on the dumb, doing it right.
Why?
I have no talent.
I'm typing tablet because I'm going to use it as an open, and I typed an M at the end of it. So it's
tablum.
It was as tablum. There you
go.
As tablum. There you go.
Well, those are from Mesopotamia. They got the cuneiform on them. The tablums.
Exactly.
Actually, I think that's Latin though. Tablum.
Tablum is, I believe it's Latin. Yeah.
I believe that is Latin, so it wouldn't be from Samaria or anything like that. It might be ancient Rome. Who knows?
Who knows? Either way. All right. Well, as you chew, should we bring up your socks?
No, I'm not wearing any right now.
Yeah, but I mean, you have a lot of cheesy socks.
Yeah, but they're all Star Wars and drinking related.
Well, we are drinking tonight.
We are drinking. I got a pair that just look like they're yellow with the fizzy, with bubbles in it, so it looks like beer with foam right around the top.
Right, of course, yeah.
You've seen those before. I got some that's got like drinking glasses out, and some that's got whiskey bottles on it.
We're talking about this because it is it is Happy Cheesy Socks Day.
Yes, it is Cheesy Socks Day.
Cheesy Socks Day. So, you gotta love that. Anyway, I think we're good with the days now. Is there another one?
Well, there's Squirrel Appreciation Day, but you have to actually appreciate the things.
Happy Squirrel Appreciation Day. And I don't think I've really ever appreciated squirrels.
Actually, there's the black squirrels in Central Park. I appreciate those.
Those are pretty cool. Those
are cool as hell. Then you get the red squirrels in some parts of the world.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of black squirrels. Princeton.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oddly enough, yeah.
I wonder
Specifically, the campus of Princeton
Yeah.
University. Yeah.
I wonder if there's like if they just migrated over.
I don't know. Maybe they hopped the train at Penn Station and got off at Princeton Junction, and
Like,
you know,
I like it here. I'm gonna stay here.
I'm going to hang out here for a while.
Actually, I got a feeling they went on. They actually bypassed, went on to Philadelphia, got out. Went, no, we're going back, and then just
There
off
you
to
go.
Princeton Junction. Who knows?
Right. That could be as well. Anyway. All right. Well, I'm thirsty. I don't know about you.
You're right. The chair's a little worse today than it usually is.
Usually, I mean, you could hear it, but it's definitely
More prevalent.
speaking its mind today. Let's put it that
Yes, it is.
way. All right. All right.
Oh, what do you say, Chair?
What's that?
What do you say, Chair? Oh, Chair says we're going to Mars.
All right.
Shut up, Chair.
All right. Anyway, I'm thirsty. You thirsty?
I'm thirsty.
I think we should bring our guest on.
Something to wash these cookies down with.
Please welcome to the show. Our guest today is Mr. Dave Jimenez from Kiitos Brewing. How are you, Dave?
What's up, boys?
Hey, buddy, it's
Oh,
been
yes,
a while.
Long time no talk.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
Dave's got some cool shit going on.
He does have a lot of cool shit
we will get into that.
Got to get into that. I want to hear all about it and some other stuff he's going to tell us too. Want to catch up on all of that. But first
beers.
But first, beer. Dave, what are you drinking?
Which Dave?
He's Samurai. You're Dave for
So,
tonight.
I'm actually doing dry January.
You're doing
You are.
I am.
All
Yeah,
right.
I started right after Christmas, not thinking about dry January. But I remember it was right after Christmas, and I thought I had these awesome new high points that my friend made, and it was for his anniversary, and I had a couple, and I sat there by myself, drunk as a skunk, thinking, why am I doing this? And so, fast forward, I'm drinking hop water.
Hop water's good.
There you go.
Water's good.
Yeah.
That's
So,
a good substitute. It's better than the 0.0s beer. I'll tell you that. Ooh.
This is true. Yeah, a couple weeks ago we did an NA beer because it wound up being our guest we had to postpone, and
John was on.
shows. I was on antibiotics, so we went up doing an NA beer show. So
And I was still hungover from New Year's. That was like what, 5 days later?
it's like it was a week later, a week after New Year's.
No, yeah, it was almost a week later, wasn't it?
have you guys found an NA beer you guys enjoy?
No.
No. So that is our.
I found a couple that I can tolerate.
Yeah,
You
the
know.
Guinness. I can tolerate the
The
Guinness.
Guinness
That's
is
about
the
it.
Guinness, all right. The Sam Adams, just the haze isn't bad
It smells
for
a
what
lot
it
better.
for what it is. For what it smells better than it tastes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been digging the Heineken Zero, and then Athletic has a copper Mexican style lager that I actually dig.
I haven't tried any athletics yet. I hear they're pretty good.
I haven't tried any athletics either. I've been remiss to that.
But we are referring to the show as our first and last annual NA beer show.
we tried it. It didn't work. It didn't take.
Sorry,
We gave it a shot. It
We're
was
too set in our ways. Not,
Exactly.
It's a generational thing. We can't do it.
I enjoy.
I would rather, I mean, that's fine. Like, I'd rather drink other things, right?
Sure.
I'd rather drink the hop water or
Or
just
water.
water.
Yeah, the hop water right now at Kiitos, we're delving in terpenes. So I've been doing a lot of terpenes in the hop water. I know a lot of individuals here in Utah specifically, they've been doing hop water with T90 pellets. So you get kind of that green tinge,
Mhm.
Okay.
and then it becomes over time vegetal. And I hate vegetal beers. Some people
Right,
like them in their IPAs, but in my hop water, absolutely not. So I've been doing, my team and I have been doing terpenes. So there's some fruit terpenes, and there's just the aromatics in sparkling water,
That's cool.
acidify it, and easy. Takes me it's like $1.80 to make, and sell it for $2. It's the best.
There you go.
So explain what a terpene is.
So terpenes derive from the hop oils or cannabis oils. So what they can do is, I use one called from Abstracts. So what they do is they actually take those the terpenes, the aromatics, and they actually encapsulate them in an oil substance, and we put it in some beverages. And we've been doing a lot in our double IPAs, and it actually kind of personifies that aromatic flavor and the aromatics, and then you get flavor as well. So a lot of peach in there, a lot of grapefruits coming out, and sometimes you can go dank. You can just get straight marijuana kind of tasting flavors, which is unique because it smells like weed, tastes like weed, not weed.
Not weed, not weed, no alcohol, no nothing. Just
So how does it differ from hop oil?
So hop oil, when you see it in the Hop oils typically you have to do a hot side because if you put it in a finished product, you'll see kind of that separation in the liquid, and you don't want that because it will be viscous, and you don't want that taste. You don't want that coating your palate. It's pretty gross, actually. Some places they try the oils, and I hate oil-based products. They don't homogenize well in wort or in specifically carbonated water. So terpenes are typically water-based, and they work really well. I recommend them to almost everyone.
Nice.
Very cool.
Very nice. Very cool.
But Lagunitas, I don't know what they're doing. They have they do natural flavors, they say, and it smells like. If you guys ever had the candy Pop Rocks?
Oh yeah.
It smells and tastes like Pop Rocks. Not a huge fan.
Interesting. Yeah, that's definitely our generation's Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks.
Remember the myth that that Mikey from the Life commercial died from eating Pop Rocks and drinking Coca-Cola.
Drinking Coca-Cola with it, yeah.
And the Mythbusters came out and proved that wrong.
Right.
That it was impossible to do that.
They didn't just go call him, be like, "Hey, you alive?"
Oh no, he was alive. That was the other thing. They said it's already busted that it would happen to Mikey, but we're going to bust the myth that this can actually happen.
Oh, okay. Like they could just see if he's alive. That would bust
Right.
it.
Done. Myth bust. Well, I mean, it could have been just lying about that he had the Coke with the.
No, he's not the one who said it. It was
they could have been lying about the fact. I'm saying, yeah. So
they just could have called Mikey and he'd said, "Yeah, no, I died, but I got better."
I got better.
What are you boys drinking?
What are you? Joke. That is a joke. Yeah.
So I'm thinking the reason I'm eating these butter cookies, I really wanted to see how, because these are basically butter cookies. I wanted to see how they would go with the double. I've got the Benedictine St. Gabriel, and it's gonna. I'm just curious as how this is going to work. I don't think it's going to, but
what do you think?
I think that's a damn good double, first of all. But I hadn't had a cookie in a while, so now I'm going to eat the cookie. I expect by eating the cookie and drinking it, it's going to bring out the hopping a little bit more. It's what I'm expecting, but we'll see.
Right. That makes sense. Anything?
Actually killed the hopping.
Killed the hopping.
I was 100% wrong on that one.
All right.
And you know what? I think.
Well, if it's a butter cookie, I mean,
I was going to say that's the thing. That's the thing. Being a butter cookie, that's probably what killed it.
Absolutely. Now, if you were drinking a diacetyl beer, yeah.
No, that'd be
or a glass of diacetyl. I think they would have got. I think they would have gone swimmingly.
I've had that beer before that you just mentioned. I think it's called glass of diacetyl.
It's actually called that, yes. So my first beer, you were in yours was Oregon. My first beer is hailing from Seattle, Washington. It's Bizarre Brewing. They're Helles. They're folding water Helles lager.
Ah, very nice. Yeah. Seattle. There's portions of Seattle that are quite bizarre.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
Get a Ballard. Ballard's known to be weird. They love the fact that they're weird. They've got a huge statue to Stalin in Ballard.
Is that right?
You know why they have that statue?
Why is that?
Someone found it in a dump and they were going to just find another way to discard it. They're like, no, we'll take it. We'll put it up right in town square. So it's a statue of, I think it's Stalin, or I'm pretty certain it's Stalin. It's also the right around.
What would a statue of Stalin be doing in Washington?
I
mean that's the first question.
And they also have a rocket. That's actually, if you're standing at the Stalin statue and you look off to the left, there's the rocket. It's this huge rocket that I think they took out of a dump. It is a rare town, but there's some really good liquid in Ballard, some fantastic food. There you go. Really, really great place. But
nice.
I'd be surprised if Bizarre was not in Ballard. I don't think it is, actually.
It's in Seattle.
In Seattle proper. Well, Ballard is a neighborhood.
No, I know. I'm saying it's. Oh, you mean at the neighborhood Ballard? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood of Seattle.
My bad.
Yes, you know, I've always got maps up, so I'll just put that in there.
You can map away.
What are you drinking?
I just told you.
But what style did you say? What style?
It's a Helles lager.
Those cookies got to you.
The cookies got to them. That's what it was.
Man, what do they put in those cookies? Oh, Bizarre Brewing's right across the bay from Ballard, by the way.
There you go. All right, fair enough.
So,
All right. All right. Let's jump into this because I want to hear about it. We're going to post the link to the one article that you sent to, Dave. We're going to put that on the Facebook page after the show's done. But let's talk about it. You made a fonio.
Well, it's funny because I was sitting there. Let me just give you a little background. I'm sitting there in the airport in Columbus. I think it was in Columbus, Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbia, yeah.
Waiting for my flight. The text pops up like, Jimenez. I haven't heard from Jimenez in a while. So I read the article, immediately forwarded to John, go, this shit is cool. But me reply back to Dave, you got to come on the show and talk about this.
Yeah, you're one of the few I texted that to. I don't know. Don't ask me why, but I'm like, who would appreciate this? Like,
I read that, like, this is so cool.
Cool. Because I don't know if you guys have been, I guess, jumping into it. Have you guys been around Brooklyn Brewery at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
close to.
Sure.
So they actually, Garrett Oliver, the brewmaster there, he actually you have to credit him for bringing fonio into the United States. In about, I think, 2019, he started messing with this grain fonio, which is it's kind of a drought persistent grain that doesn't need irrigation, doesn't need fertilization, it doesn't have pesticides in it. It comes from West Africa. He specifically went to Senegal and started fucking with it, and he brewed a couple beers there, and then he brought one back, and I believe the first one he brewed was in 2019 or 2022, one of the two, and he made a double pilsner. And the cool part about it is they made one with 20-ish%, or they didn't say it. They made some with fonio. So fonio, this grain, it's considered kind of an ancient grain. It's
sure.
It's kind of like millet. It's kind of like sorghum or what's the shit that everyone hates? Spelt.
Yep, that's the other one.
It's kind of like that, and it's one of those fun things where it gives really nuances of lychee and tropical fruits and white grape, and so putting this grain into a pilsner was a genius idea, and I think it's the only thing not wrong. I hate saying that. The only thing different from Garrett Oliver's beer than other beers was he started it. Then he started a program called Brewing for Impact. So let's bring in this grain that doesn't impact the environment that much with our water resources, with harvesting it, all this, and let's brew with it. So he brought it in. He brewed. Guinness did one with him.
Okay.
They made a stout, obviously.
Out of Open Gate or in Ireland? Do you know?
I don't know. I would be just pulling out of my ass if I said something.
I'm going to go on the record as saying it was probably one or the other.
This man is so wise and so smart. This is why I do a show with him.
And the other one,
and he's also a jackass, but that's beside the point.
The other one they did was with Carlsberg out of Denmark.
Really?
Cool. And it was a really cool beer. I believe it was a lager. And then the other one, they went to Russian River and did one with Vinny and the team. And they released, I believe that one was a Saison. And they released that saying that it was a 25% grist of fonio. And they had, in their beer, it had the yeast characters, but then it had a lot of that malt character come through as well. Nice. And so we went to my coworker, I sent him the GABF, and he ran into Vinny, and they were talking about this, that, and the other, and they talked about how we had a mash press, and they said, well, what can you do with the mash press? And we're talking about doing alternative grains, millet. Our gluten-free beer right now is our number 2 selling beer. So last time we talked, my blackberry sour beer was number 1 beer, and then my coffee beer and my blonde ale. And coffee beer, blonde ale, fuck them. It's gluten-free. It's a blackberry sour, gluten-free, and the beer we call creamsicle, which is basically like that orange creamsicle popsicle. Right. Mm-hmm. So those are 1, 2, and 3. All really crazy.
Where did the coffee beer and the other one drop off to?
4 and 5, just
really
down a little bit. Yeah,
just complain about those two. Yeah.
I think because we talked about kind of the Gen Z and the whatever we want to call the next generations. They like those. They don't like beer flavored beer. They like their foofy beer. Yeah. Right. So the creamsicle.
And they don't like fattening beer either.
Yeah. So the cool
give them 10, 15 years. They'll come around.
They'll come back. But,
be married for 5 years. 5 years and see what happens.
Well, that's a different story. Give me 5 months.
So let's see. we talked to Vinny about it. He's like, yeah, our beers, that has a little bit of fonio. We liked it. We enjoyed using it, but I would never go above 25-30%. You'd stick your mash. It's kind of like brewing with rye or a bunch of rice or a bunch of corn. When it comes to adjuncts, as a traditional mash lautering brewer, you don't want to I wouldn't go over 20% of corn or anything. Like, especially if someone came up to me and said, hey, I'm going to do a 50% rye beer on the mash lauter time. I do that.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun with that mash.
Yeah. Have fun with that 20-hour day.
Have fun with putting about 900,000 pounds of rice hulls in there.
Yeah, all rice hulls. Yeah, that's like tasting rice hulls. But the cool thing about Kiitos with the mash press is I can without even skipping a beat. So the biggest mash press, I haven't done it, but before my time, the brewmaster, the head brewer, he did a 95% rye beer.
God.
Wow. And I'm telling you, it didn't stick. There's no sticking. You can't stick a mash.
You can't stick in a mash press. Yeah.
No. So it was the gummiest beer I have ever had in my entire life.
Was it good though? Gummy, but good. No.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't recommend it. It was rye. If you like rye,
I love rye. That's my point.
Well, then you might like it. It's like someone took pumpernickel and then put it in the ground and just shit on it.
Oh, but that part.
Last part you can hold.
Yeah, just hold the shit. I'll have everything else.
So then back up a little bit. I reached out to Carlsberg, and it was right around Christmas time, right before Christmas time. I reached out to Carlsberg, and they were on holiday. But someone reached back to me, the brewmaster, Eric Lund. He reached out to me. He goes, David, thanks for reaching out. After holiday, I'll talk to you about the Fonio beer. So long story short, Carlsberg's been doing these test batches before Garrett Oliver.
Really?
They've been doing 100%. Why? Because they have a mash press. So they released the world's first ever Fonio beer, 100% Fonio beer, but it was a lager. And they shared some information with us. We were looking at it. They only made about, I think, if I recall, it was only 2,000 bottles of it.
Okay.
But it looks like a wine bottle. It kind of comes out champagne-like. They made it very carbonated, and they loved it. They loved it. They said they do it again. They were giving us, we learned some tricks to it. So to nerd out real quick, all the flavors.
Nerd away.
All the flavors come from the malt. So I put in my beer, in our beer, we put in 12 hectoliters, which is about 10 barrels. Mm-hmm. We put 32 ounces of hops, period. That's it. And this is one of the most aromatic beers I've ever made. We've never made. It came from the malt. Anyway, so we made...
How big a batch?
We made 12 hectoliters. Okay. So just 10 barrels. Okay. That's the smallest we can do. Mm-hmm. We did 100% Fonio. It came out like, I'll send you guys some pictures, but it came out like sand. It was milled. It looked like sand. It was a bitch to use. It was gritty. It looked like when we were mashing it, it looked like grits.
Okay.
So it had this consistency of grits.
I love grits.
It is delicious, but not when you're trying to make beer out of it.
And then you take your butter.
No butter. Just
put some diacetyl in there.
Right there, you're good to go.
Cheddar cheese and bacon.
Yeah. So we did our research. And go ahead, John. Sorry.
I was going to say I prefer shrimp in my grits, but that's what you said.
True. Same.
They hate it when he does that.
Then we went to 100% Fonio. We did the labels and everything. So I actually brought one for you guys to show it off. So this is our Fonio beer. Very nice. I've been working on trying to rebrand Kiitos. We're trying to push into this big K. Kiitos.
I've got the shirt with that K on it.
There you go.
Little description of it, kind of cute, and it's you can't really see, but it's gluten free.
Yep.
So the cool thing about this is we made it to be 5%, so we can it and sell it on draft because Utah has weird laws.
Yep.
But we made it. It's a gluten-free option, so we talked about NA beers earlier. How some NA beers are just like, fuck, it's just not beer, and some gluten-free beers the same thing. Just does once you take the venom out of the snake, it's just not.
It's not snake.
No. So this is a gluten-free beer that tastes like a beer, but kind of tastes like a wine.
Right.
Let me show you. So this is, again, 100% Fonio. The grain was kind of imagine sand, like pinkish brown sand. That's how the Fonio looked at. I'm going to show you what color this beer is, if you guys can see.
It does look like champagne.
Yeah.
That's crystal clear.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
That is great for work. You can tell them you're drinking water.
Hey, you're always thinking. You always thinking.
The noodle's going.
Not just a hat rack, my friend.
But it smells. It has lychee, tropical fruit, and white grape. So it kind of smells like a wine, kind of like a vino verde, like a green wine.
Oh.
And it tastes kind of like the mouth feels like a sake, almost
Really?
rice-like.
Oh, really dry, huh?
I wouldn't say, yeah, it's not quite umami-ish, but it's got like that
Okay.
rice flavor, like rice mouthfeel.
That's interesting.
But it's so the only shitty part is we haven't been able to figure out how to get good head on it, so it kind of looks still.
That's figuring that out. No, just never mind.
Like I said, that's another good reason. That's another reason you could probably drink it at work and get away with it.
But I mean, it's if you were to put sake and wine together, that's what this beverage is. So Fonio.
That's now the question is, with the process and sourcing the grains, what your profit margin on this? Is this something that is commercially viable for you guys?
Yes, because of the gluten-free market. I think if we were to market to the specific audience of gluten-free, then yeah. If you're going to put it against other session beers or even just typical lagers, absolutely not. I don't think so. It's about two. So right now, BSG or Brewer Supply Group, one of the bigger chains that bring in malt for the United States.
You use them.
But yeah, they just brought it in November 26th, 27th. They just launched Fonio. So you can buy Fonio. Commercial brewers can buy Fonio right now today through BSG. So that there's outlets for that. So you can do this.
Did you get them from BSG?
We got ours from BSG. We were their guinea pigs because we know the sales rep. Well, our sales rep from the West Coast real well. And when he came in after our GABF experience, we were talking about it and how we wanted to use alternative grains. And he's the one that brought the idea to us using this first. And that's when we went down the rabbit hole. But we figured out Garrett Oliver's already been trying this, Carlsberg, Vinny. So we were reaching out to everyone we can. And it's $2.23 a pound.
Wow.
And it's millet right now is about $2 a pound. So if you're like, my gluten-free beer is rising to be my number one selling beer. So if this one takes off,
it's also one of your most expensive beers to make.
It's also one of my, but it's also it's hard. You can't get 100% gluten-free beer anywhere else in Utah. So
what I'm trying to wrap my head around here is that a Finnish brewery in Salt Lake City is making a beer with 100% West African grain.
That is correct. And they have a Mexican brewer.
With what?
A Mexican brewer.
A Finnish
Mexican brewer.
A Finnish brewery in Salt Lake City, Utah, with a Mexican brewer is brewing 100% West African grain. There you go.
That is amazing. I love that. How that is.
Welcome to the United Nations. There you go.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the story
awesome.
of Fonio. So far, so good. And I'm going to send you guys this because it's something you need to try.
I would love to try that.
Yeah, I would
100%.
absolutely need to try that.
So
Yeah.
hard to explain, and people who don't like beer love this because it's almost wine-esque. It's almost that sochu sake kind of vibe, and because of that, the sex appeal is awesome.
Right.
Yeah, you got your guys' partners will like this. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, I think I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
But I can't. When it came out of the fermenter crystal clear, I'm not kidding. Because sometimes when you sanitize a tank, you have some leftover sanitizer in the tank, and so we're blowing out. We're transferring this beer.
And you thought you had like Sandy in the tank.
I looked at my coworker and go, you fucked this up. Like, you spent all this money on this beer and you fucked it up. I'm like, no, taste it. Oh, shit. Yeah. Wow. But yeah.
The flavor
It's been
profile.
Hold on. Wait. Starsan. Yeah. Starsan, yeah.
Yeah. PAA. Oh, great.
Yeah, right.
The way you describe the flavor, though, it's almost it almost reminiscent of some Proseccos I've had.
Okay.
So that actually sounds.
What's the how carved is that? Like what carb did you put on it?
This is a 2.8.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Carlsberg went champagne level, so they went damn near 3, 3.1, 3.2. But they also corked it.
Yeah, they cork and caged it, right?
I think they cork and caged it. I'm pretty sure they treat it like a wine, I think you should.
I'm looking at the bottle right now. They cork and caged it.
Oh yeah, so it's a beautiful green bottle with the kind of the white label like this, and then they have the gold trim.
And you've got this art that was done by a Cameroon artist on it.
Yeah, this was done by a bunch of brewers.
But that one, yeah, as you can tell, I've been doing a little research while we've been going on.
Yeah, if you guys can show your audience that beer, that the Carlsberg, even the Brooklyn beer.
We'll put the link up to the article that you sent, and we'll also put up the Carlsberg.
And the only thing is the Carlsberg one and our beer are the only gluten-free and 100% gluten-free Fonio beers. Mm-hmm. Now we're not the first ones to use Fonio. That's I credit that to Garrett Oliver as far as I can. Our research shows, but again, they can only do 20-25%. But I don't think
that's this guy, right? You're talking about?
That's the one. Oh yeah. You just look for the hat. He's always wearing that awesome hat. Those awesome hats.
I just had to piss Dave off because I always put a selfie or something.
Yes. Don't mention anybody else, please.
But yeah,
what you don't have one with Vinny?
I don't have one with Vinny. I don't. I actually don't. I don't have one.
Saved.
But if you guys get a chance to try that beer or see it, try it out. Those beers, unfortunately, don't showcase Fonio all the way, but they will help show off a little bit of that Fonio. Because a lot of these beers that other people are making are saying that it's got nuttiness to it or kind of biscuit flavors, and I don't get that at all. So it's got to be from the other grain they use.
It's coming from the other grain, sure.
Yeah, Brooklyn's calling it nutty because I pulled up the Brooklyn one that they did with the Olele.
Yeah, that
did they do it? Did they do it in 2019 or 2022?
It's one of those two.
But it's they're calling it Fonio white beer.
So I think it's that. I think that one was a double pilsner, if I'm not mistaken.
They're just calling it white beer. They're not giving it any other kind of. And this is on the Brooklyn website. You can order it through Drizzly. But this is probably, I don't know how old this article is, but style they say is white beer.
White beer.
Yep.
And we asked Brooklyn Brewery, we asked if any of their Fonio beers were gluten free, and they responded with us. Unfortunately, none of our beers are gluten free. So that just tells me
it's not 100% one Fonio.
Not 100%. Yeah, exactly. We got one quick comment here. Brian Boak, cheers, Brian.
Hey, Brian, cheers.
There we go. Yeah, no, I used to Garrett Brews amazing. He comes up with amazing ideas. They used to do the Brewers. They used to have the Brewers Reserves that they released every other month, I believe.
Yeah,
it was every other month. And I went over to a bunch of those releases, and they were just like he did one. I'm sitting here racking my mind trying to remember the name of it. I just can't. It was probably in 2015, 2015 or 2017. I'm not sure which, but they did. They had like 5 spices in this. It was an amber, but it was a higher. It was like basically a strong ale, but it was spiced with like I want to say Middle Eastern spices, but spices. Most spices are from the Middle East or Far East or whatever. But and then. But what he did was he always did something cool at those nights too. He had these this one company come in and had all of these raw spices out, and you could actually go around and do your own spice blends. And you went through and you figured out exactly what you wanted and how much of each you wanted, and you basically left there with 1 or 2 bottles of your own spice blends or whatever.
That's really cool.
It's kind of cool, Another one he had he had I don't know something. It was cheesy or something like that. It wasn't in part of the beer or whatever, but he paired the beer that it was releasing with grilled cheeses or whatever. So he had a grilled cheese night. And he had these raclettes and other grilled cheese makers in the brewery set up, and you went around and ate them too. It was really cool. But he comes up with a lot of really cool ideas. So the fact that he did the Fonio, I'd like to try his too, and the Carlsberg if I can find them, if they're still available out
It's
there.
very limited. Right?
That'd be very hard. I mean, I don't
That's
know
what I'm saying. I'm sure I won't. I would
Yeah.
love to though, but
they opened one when we met with them. They were opening one,
okay.
and they said, "Hey, it tastes great. It's fine."
And how old was it?
They had so they released that, I believe, in July of last year.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that one, either August or July, but so they let it sitting there for almost 6 months, and they opened it, and it was lagered. They treat it like their cellar, treat it like a wine.
I wonder what the oxidation rate is where it starts to deteriorate.
I didn't ask that question, but I mean,
for me it was about 35. Oh.
If you started to deteriorate at 35,
yeah, that's where it started.
You're
it's
nothing now.
Downhill slope. No. I am really curious as to how long a Fonio beer would last. So you guys going to put some down to test that, or?
We made such a small batch that we didn't realize
how to.
No, we're going to do this again. It's flying off the shelves. Actually, everyone's wanting to come try this, and it's one of those beers where when you grab it, you taste it, and then you kind of do one of those
because it's one of those things where you it doesn't taste like what you're drinking, right?
Yeah,
like what you're looking at.
I call it a callback. So every time you see someone, you release a beer and they do a callback, like, what the fuck? I have to. What was that?
Right.
They're hooked, and so everyone does that, and then they go like, "You gotta try this."
It's funny because one of the articles that I pulled up on the Carlsberg beer was titled "Das ist kein Bier," which means that's not beer. But hey, that's not.
The TTP says it's beer, so
if it's beer, it's beer. If it doesn't taste like beer, that's a different
beer. So let's keep it there.
There you go. So let me ask you a question. Do you think now some of the feedback you've been getting, is it more? And I can imagine based on what you're saying, I can't wait to taste it either. But I can imagine based on what you're saying, it's definitely the former of what I'm going to say. But is it more of the taste? Like I'm sure there's a little of both, but is it more of the taste of the way it tastes based on either the appearance of it and then they taste it and they're like, they do the double take or whatever, or is it just the fact that, oh my God, this is a clear beer, like not gimmicky or anything like that, just the uniqueness of it?
I mean, there's so much depth to all the nuances of this beer. It's clear. Mm-hmm. There's no SRM. Like the SRM is
the SRM is going
like if this doesn't get brilliant on a test, I am going to quit beer making for the rest. That's brilliant. But it's the fact that it's made with a gluten-free grain. It's clear. The smells, you're getting like a bouquet of fruit right in your nose, and then the flavor, because it's supposed to drink like a beer or drink like a wine, but it drinks almost like a sake,
right?
And so there's so many, and that's why you gotta keep, it's a mind fuck, and you have to keep going back to it.
That's great.
That'd be an interesting beer to sake bomb with then.
Oh yeah.
Interesting again, not just a hat rack, my friend. Very good. You and the ideas.
I did open my.
You're an idea man.
Yeah, I got a million of them. I did open my second beer.
I was going to say, open your second beer. I'm going to open mine. Go
ahead. So as you know, when I came back from Baltimore, I got that Das Schuf gift pack.
You did?
Bassery Das Schuf. Mm-hmm. Then I drank two of them tonight. I drank one last week. Drinking La Schuf, the classic.
Oh yeah, the Smurfs.
Yeah.
The gnomes, and apparently these all have different names.
Mm-hmm.
All the different gnomes.
But all the different gnomes have different names. Yes, they do.
But I'm drinking it out of a glass that I got just 2 days ago. I was at Terrapin Brewing. And John, if you get down to Terrapin, love is love. Gotta love that.
Love is love.
Gotta love that.
Love is love.
If you ever get to Terrapin Brewing, here's the great thing. What you can do, they've got this deal. Like it's $12.95. Mm-hmm. It's 6 half pours and the glass.
6 half pours and the glass. Yeah, I'm going for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. It's like I was only going to have like one or two there. I'm like, no. I'll do the 6 pours in the glass. That's how can you can't pass up on that. It's a great deal.
You can't pass up on that. I don't care how thirsty or not thirsty or.
And the thing is, if you want 3 full pours, you just give them 2 tickets. You get 6 tickets. They're just tear offs. You give them 2 of the tickets, and because there's one of the beers that I wanted, they only had it in a can, so that's 2 tickets.
There you go.
No problem.
That works.
And when they pour, they're really good because they know that this is conical.
Mm-hmm.
So a half pour is to about here,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they know it's conical, so they know this is about half.
You can't beat that. That's how can you beat that?
Yeah, that was great.
There you go.
And they're a classic brewery, so sitting in that brew pub, that tap room was pretty cool.
Yeah, they've made some interesting beers over the years. Terrapins.
They're moo-hoos.
So was it the first peach beer I ever had was with their Maggie's Peach or something like that?
Was it? Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was It was something peach. I'm pretty sure
there was another one that they put a cow on the label, didn't they?
That was the one. Yeah.
Yeah, they were doing cows before Bolero was doing cows.
Oh well, yeah, 100%.
They just weren't doing the puns.
Right. Exactly. My second beer stems from I still wasn't drinking on Saturday night. So this past Saturday was Baltic Porter Day.
It was.
So I figured I'd have my Baltic Porter tonight. So
there you go.
It was from Boiler Brewing in Lincoln, Nebraska.
And you're jumping all over the state.
I am
all over this country.
There you go.
It's funny. I did have a Baltic Porter on Friday. But I was sitting in a tap room.
It's in collaboration with the Lincoln Loggers. Was it Lincoln Loggers Homebrewers Club?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
Boiler Brewer.
But I was having mine at Brewer, which is in New Orleans, the day before, and that was really cool. Very small tap room.
Oh my God!
I think John just had a cosmic experience. Holy
shit! This is all right. Pause on that Brew Carré thing because I want to hear it, and everybody else does too. This is amazing. I mean, it's got all the Baltic Porter characteristics. It's 10.1%, right? But so it's big. But I mean, I'm getting barrel notes out of this thing, and it's not barrel aged.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Again, wish I ordered more than one.
Every friggin' time you do this to yourself.
Well, you'll be pleased to know that I did just start a new crate with 2 of one the same beer.
I was just warning. Who was I just warning about? Oh, Starodumsky, as a matter of fact. Because he's going, where do you get these beers all the time? And I was telling him I said, well, it depends if you want to go broke or not. And if you've got a lot of expendable cash and it's not going to get you in trouble with the wife, download the Tavor app. But on that, you want to probably stay away from it.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely do.
I should probably start a new crate soon, though.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a crate since August or September. I just have way too much beer. But every now and then I'll scroll through Tavor.
Well, you allow them to give you the push notifications.
I do.
Yeah, that's your downfall.
Half the time I don't even look at the push notifications. I'm like when I have a crate.
Half the time he doesn't even look at his. That's I can attest to this because half the time he doesn't even look at his phone.
Half the time I don't get notifications on my phone because this phone is 4 years old and is a POS. You know what that means, right? In any event,
people on Social Security. No, that's
pretty much. Anyway, but the other day I went through and Phase 3 Brewing in Illinois, they had a dark English mild. I'm like, I can't pass this up. Boom. I put 2 in a cart, called it a day. And I'll let this cart go for a while, but I'll build one up. I'll probably get it around April, maybe. But yes, this is fan. Like, I'm not even kidding with this.
I wouldn't.
I'm literally getting barrel. I mean, it's a Baltic Porter. I'm getting all of that. But it's so big, I'm literally getting a little bit of almost like a bourbon flavor, but barrel notes, the caramel. I mean, it's bigger than a regular Baltic Porter. This is fantastic.
Nice.
Good job, Boiler Brewing. Way to go. And Lincoln Loggers Homebrew Club too. So I'll write something about that. I'll put an article up on the website. This is fantastic. This is really good.
The one I had at Brew Carré it was just a classic Baltic Porter where you had that roast.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how a Baltic Porter announces its ABV with that little bit of a vinous note behind everything.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it had that classic vinous note with that roasty, toasty beautiness. Beautiness. I just created a word. Beautiness. That is a Baltic Porter. It was really solid. They also had a Rauch beer. They called it the Bambergler.
Really, Bambergler. I like that.
Bambergler. That's cute. So that, and the great thing about the Big Easy is, I had my son with me who doesn't drink because he's 20, but he also doesn't drink even though I did give him his first shot at my Lord on this trip. But
I can't believe you did that to the kid. I really
he requested it. He's like, how bad can it be? I'm like, okay, you asked for it. But at any rate, the great thing about New Orleans is, I don't want to bore him by making him sit in a tap room this whole time while I drank.
Mm-hmm.
And talk to the people from Plattsburgh, New York, by the way. But
we'll figure.
So I was like, well, I want another beer, but I don't want to bore him. I'll just get a to-go cup.
Not in Utah.
In New Orleans, people are walking all over the place drinking.
How about it?
We walk from there, walk past this one park, walk past this one guy with a dog in the passenger seat with a skull mask on. Mm-hmm. New Orleans. And then it's like, okay, well, let's go into the bakery and get some baked goods. So I finished my beer and we walked into the bakery. So yeah, that was fun. These guys do some good stuff. Brewer Carré, if you're in New Orleans, it's like two blocks away from the Jazz Museum.
Really?
Yeah.
I get down there.
On the opposite side of the market. Mm-hmm. So right by Frenchman's, just by Frenchman's Corner.
Memphis and Eastern Arkansas is the closest I've ever been to New Orleans. I'm assuming that, by the way, because I've been to Dallas, but I'm thinking Dallas is much further away from
It is much further
than
away.
Memphis and Eastern Arkansas.
Texas is a very large state.
So.
Dave, have you ever been to NOLA?
Yeah, we were there earlier last year.
Yeah,
the first weekend in Mardi Gras, and that was wow.
Really? You went down for Mardi Gras?
Well, it just so happened to be Mardi Gras. We didn't think about it. It was a buddy's birthday, and we went out there, and the wife and I went with a bunch of friends. Probably, I think 8 of us went out there, and yeah, we had a time of our lives. It was never look back.
Did you flash your tits to people for?
I did. My favorite moment was we spent $200 in beads, and we were out, and it was so fun. I mean,
the wife too. I mean,
oh yeah, we're
all of us. When in Rome, I mean, right?
Yeah. And so, yeah, there's a lot of things in the world.
I got a quick story, really quick. There was this bar up in Bergen County in Jersey. It's not there anymore. It was called Cornerstone. It was no, I'm sorry. It's called Cornerstone now. It used to be Bourbon Street, so it was NOLA, right? It was right. So on Mardi Gras, on Fat Tuesday, right? This one year, a bunch of us went.
Someone showing off his French.
No, yeah, right. What you got? We're up there, and they have a dance floor, but they have like a second level, and the dance floor is open to the second level, so there's like a balcony around the whole dance floor, right? And there's a ton of guys on the top, and they're giving out beads. Like you just walk in, they hand you like an armful of beads, right? So you got them on, the guys anyway, and they were, and yep. Boom, here you go. You just stand there throwing beads down, right? But I mean, there was probably 50 guys or more up the top, and there was a bunch of people on the dance floor. So it wasn't crazy. It wasn't bad. It was interesting. Let's put it that way, at that level. Anyway, one of the guys we were with, big guy. I mean, really big guy, right? He disappears. We didn't know where the hell he went. All of a sudden, about 15 minutes later, he comes meandering out into the middle of the dance floor, and he goes like this, right? Everybody on the dance floor left, and everybody up in the top left. I'm like, he screwed the whole thing up.
Oh, I thought they were just showering with
He
beads.
Yeah, I thought
screwed the
everyone
whole.
was talking about one.
No, well, we did too because we were getting out of there. Then we just threw all of us threw ours at him, and we had our joke right because we were getting ready.
Well, tossing beads and whipping them at him. Those are two different things.
This is true. This is true. But he screwed the whole. Like we were leaving anyway. He screwed the whole thing for everybody else. Up there. So anyway,
it's an interesting place.
I'm going back.
One of my friends went
longer than that, 35 years ago.
One of my friends went there with a bunch of guys who had a lot of money, and he wound up running out of money real quick. So he's sitting outside one of the grocery stores with a sign says, "Please help! I have no money for beer." A guy walks out of the grocery store, hands him a can of beer, goes, "I would have given you money, but I was afraid to spend it on food." New Orleans. It's a special place.
Oh no, it's a special place.
Delicious place, Bo.
100%. The
A what place?
He
Delicious.
said delicious place.
Oh my God, the food.
Amazing.
Today for lunch, I purposely made a salad because I'm like, man, when I get home, I've got to eat a vegetable. I really need to eat a vegetable, and it can't be, like not wanting gumbo. It's just, oh God.
Anyway,
food there.
Anyway, all right. So what else has Kiitos been doing?
Yeah, so last year was pretty epic. We for GABF we took home 2 gold medals.
Amazing. For what? Which beers? What category?
Our blonde ale.
The coffee ale.
The coffee did advance, but didn't make it to the final round. That one I'm hell bent to get somewhere. I really want that one won GABF in 2018. So when Kiitos was first opened. So 6-year drought, but my team and I, we took home 2 golds back to back, actually.
Nice.
For our pale ale in the English ale category, English pale ale, and then our blonde in the golden or blonde ale category.
Nice.
So,
very nice. Awesome.
Utah took home, I think we took home 5 medals, and 2 of those were ours, and they were gold. And I was in South Utah at the time. My coworker was at GABF, and I'm watching it online. And the town
you're in South Utah. Why didn't you just drive over? I mean,
I should have.
You were like 2 hours away at that.
I was doing something else that obviously was way more important.
Way.
And I remember there's probably like 30 people in this town, and I was screaming my head off. I was screaming so much that because the medals were back to back, I actually missed the second one. So I called my coworker, and I'm screaming and yelling and crying, and he's like, he's putting up 2. You can't hear anything, but he's putting up 2, and I'm just like, what? And he's like, rewind. He texted me, rewind. And so I went back, and so I had to go watch the second one, and I called my wife, and I just like, I still don't believe it. But yeah, we took 2 gold medals from GABF, and it was a brewer's dream. It was amazing. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Besides that, we're trying really hard to manipulate that mash press to do things that other brewers can't. We know how to make beer. We know how to make any style, but we're trying to push into the nuances of, like, we have a 100% oat IPA coming out.
Oh,
really?
So we're gonna do when we did a 100% oat beer.
You think your IPA is hazy?
Yeah,
you ain't seen nothing yet.
It's hazy. It's a unique take on an IPA, but in this point in my career, I'm not going to do this. I don't think anywhere else. So we're doing 100% rice beer. We're doing 100%.
So you found a home
to a degree. Yeah, I have a home where I can experiment in a different way that most traditional brewers can't. So might as well try the best. I'm just trying anything. The Fonio. I mean, if I would have saw the Fonio thing, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll use 20% of Fonio in a lager or an IPA and see how it turns out. But doing 100%, now that's something that most people can't say.
Yeah, you got to give credit to your bosses to give you that creative freedom. That's.
I don't know if he cares about the creative freedom as much as he just trusts us.
No, that's the whole point. The fact that's what give the kudos that he But
I don't know.
you have that creative freedom.
He I remember when he hired me, I looked at him. I said this. I don't know why I said this, but I looked at him. I go, why would you hire me? And he goes, because you're driven. And I thought that. I'm like, I never understood that. And when I called him he was the second or third person I called after we got the 2 medals, and I called him, and all his response was, "Yeah, I know. I'm like, told you so." Like, it doesn't. I expected more, but to his credit, he's let me put in place people. We're all playing to our strengths right now, and I have a really stellar team.
But your boss is Finnish, right?
He is of Finnish roots.
Yeah, that's okay, because that's typical of the Finnish mentality. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's whatever. Not even
and that's them celebrating.
So we made him take us out for dinner to celebrate as a team, and he was gracious enough to have us bring our significants and everything. And he likes Malort and Jaeger, and so we all had to do a shot of Malort.
What's the difference?
There is a big difference.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
One hurts worse coming out.
Yeah, but the fact is, you're not sure which. That's the problem.
No. It's Jaeger hurts more coming out. Malort will settle you down.
Depends on how it's coming out.
Well, yeah, which end?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I would have stabbed myself for it to come out and see how that works. But
that's a semen collineal, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's Kiitos. We're just trying to come out with different nuances of beers and really hone into. I'm trying to. This is one of the examples of kind of recreating labels. I know it sounds looks pretty boring, but a lot of them have this big K. We're messing with labels, kind of rebranding certain beers, and just trying to focus on staying relevant. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but in the East Coast, I'm seeing a lot of the craft beer scene kind of taking a dive.
It
is. You have to not only pivot, but you have to have your hands in multiple facets of this industry, or else you're going to die. If you're not keeping up with the trends, you're dead in the water.
Well, I tell anybody I know is going to Salt Lake, I tell them there's 2 breweries you need to get to. If you want the clean, classic styles brewed to near perfection, you go to TF. If you want to see what you can do with beer, if you want to taste something different, get your ass to Kiitos. They're having fun with what they're doing. And if you like pinball, get to Kiitos.
Oh, not that again. Shit.
Pinball. But I tell them these are the 2 breweries you need to go if you go there.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Yeah. Right now, Kiitos has a really great team, and the pinball machines that were in the main tap room, we've actually moved.
Have you?
So they're kind of tucked in it's kind of like an arcade gallery sidewall.
Did you piss off the pinball enthusiasts that visit?
No, but I got my way. I kicked them out. So now they've been shuffled.
The tap room is a tap room. The pinball arcade is the pinball arcade.
Thank you.
If viewers, if you want to hear more about that, watch the last time Jimenez was on the show.
It was actually in 9 days. It will be a year from that last show. So yeah.
Oh wow.
It was January 30th last year. Yes.
That's I still, my therapist and I still talk about that experience.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's great. That's enough.
Wow,
man.
We're at a good level right now.
Emotionally harmed by pinball.
Yeah, I call it clicking and clacking. So instead of raindrops or little drops from the faucet, it's click, clack, click, click, click. Yeah.
Oh man, no, I really do. Anytime anyone's going, I said 2 breweries. These are the 2 breweries you need to hit. Absolutely 100%.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a really cool place, really cool spot, and we're just trying to be relevant, and we're delving into different avenues of beer making. I wish we had the money to make NA beer, because if we did, I'd try really hard to make. I would love to make a good NA beer, one that you guys would have no idea was NA.
That would be amazing.
And I think the mash press is the way to go, but I might be biased.
You got yourself a nice toy.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice toy, but it's a pain in the ass. Tell you what.
Cleaning it must be fun.
Oh yeah, it's a gem. It's the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm. So is that a day in and of itself? Like,
yeah. So
forget about CIPing tanks. Forget about any other brews. one
You need to
day
think
to clean
about-
the mash press.
So the mash press is made of chambers and plates,
Right.
and each of those chambers and plates are covered in a mesh filter with about 0.5 microns a filter going. So you have to make sure there's no grain in the filter. On the filter, you have to make sure there's no grain anywhere around it. And
Right.
so this fonio, if it's like sand,
It's
have you guys
everywhere.
seen the beach? Like
Yeah.
Making fonio was the worst cleanup we've ever had.
Oh, jeez.
But I mean, you can't. I do it again because it's just so.
Yeah, look at it. I mean,
Yeah, when the results.
Yeah, it speaks for itself, and it's a really cool new product. But that's the love of your labors, right? Or
and
whatever.
when you knocked out, when you were transferring, I mean, you look at the site class and you're transferring. I think was it clear? Did you know it was going to be that when it went into the fermenter?
I mean, remember when I told you it kind of looked like grits to a degree?
That's what it was.
It had
Particulates and stuff like that in it.
had
Or-
particulates. We didn't get a lot coming through,
Mhm.
but it did have that color.
It
Like,
clouded it up enough
Like
that
it
you
was
couldn't
like,
tell.
like milky. I was gonna say
like
milky.
sandy milky. So not, but you could tell if you look at a liquid, you see kind of it looks grainy, gritty,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but it's not because we didn't have a lot of schmutz go through it. Just it was so fine.
That's a
that
technical term, folks.
It
Schmutz.
is. It's absolutely
empirical metric. Yeah.
But the
But,
yeah, I imagine it's kind of like
So it
Like-
basically
like-
said
like-
it,
like when a wave crashes and starts to recede.
Yes.
that's-
So
yeah.
that's beautiful.
it basically clarified itself in the fermenter more or less.
So it was kind of weird because in the fermenter, the conical shaped fermenter, the schmutz went to the bottom, but there's a lot of fine particulate on top. You have the carousing line,
Yeah.
and we saw an abnormal amount on top. We didn't use. Oh, this is not fine. So this didn't go through it didn't go through like a centrifuge. There's no biofine or fining agents added to this. This is in the tank, and this was in the tank for about 20 days.
Okay.
And that came out crystal clear. But the transfer, when we were transferring it, that's when I looked down and I noticed my.
Did you put it in a
Coalfest.
bright?
Yeah, we did just because I wanted to see the volume and what happened. And I like carbing in the bright because I know it's a cleaner tank versus in a ferment. I have fermenters I can carb in, but I don't know what's adhered to the sides that I didn't want to. I didn't want that schmutz to get bubbled out or bubbled in.
Right.
So we did. Only got our yield wasn't the greatest, but the clarity was unbelievable. And yeah, it was a beautiful beer. I can't wait for you guys to have some. I really.
Oh, I can't.
I'm looking forward to
I'm
it.
really just opened my third.
You did. I have about 4 or 5 more sips of this amazing friggin' concoction. I definitely am writing something for Boiler Brewing. I'm gonna. But
This beer,
amazing. This is really good. So anyway,
I think this next beer was a very important beer to the United States because it introduced us to Belgian IPAs.
it did.
This and Belgian IPAs for a while there was a rage on the Belgian IPAs for a little bit, and then it fell off, and not a lot of people drink them anymore. But I found this a very important beer. It's just the beauty of this beer is not only do you have the hops throwing a lot of floral notes, the beer itself throws the floral notes. This is one of the more floral IPAs you're ever going to drink. It's such a beautiful beer. I'm drinking it in my Hublenshoef glass.
Of course you are.
And you've got to find Marcel. Marcel is actually
Marcel is the gnome on the Hublon.
on the Hublon. Yeah,
Is that the name of him?
yeah, that's Marcel. So
I remember grumpy, happy, sad Marcel.
yes, that's it. And Doc. Don't forget Doc. Yeah,
They were dwarfs though. They weren't gnomes. So
is there a difference?
Potato, orange.
dwarfs, gnomes, potato.
One was in Lord of the Rings, one wasn't.
There you go.
That's the only difference.
All right, Frodo.
This is such a great classic beer from back in the day, and this goes back towards what John and I started to say during. I mean, maybe they're not at any risk because they're in Belgium, but when Anchor folded and we all blamed ourselves for not showing love to one of the OGs and not
You can't see it, but my Tin's anchor
is up there. But the we just assumed they'd always be there, so we kind of stopped buying and kept going for what was new.
You can actually see a tiny little part of
quarter of it.
No, it's not the anchor. That's my Grungeist Tin's anchor. It's you ever use Grungeist, Dave? It's a who the hell does it? Hop. Is it Hop Farms? I gotta think of the hop.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hop. It's proprietary to that particular.
It's a green hop.
No, it's an amazing hop. I like. Well, they did. Human Robot actually did a Pilsner with Grungeist, and the first time I had it was actually in Minneapolis at Dangerous Man Brewing. They actually did a grisette with Grungeist, and it was ridiculously good.
Is the logo kind of have like a ghost figure?
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
because Geist is German for ghost.
Yeah. Here, I'll take a picture.
I actually knew that before I started learning German because of Poltergeist.
Yep.
Yep, there it is.
There you go, and you can see part of the anchor.
There we
Yeah,
go.
it is. R.I.P.
That's a classic before they rebranded tragically.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, you were saying, Dave?
Do you have any more tin tackers you want to talk about before?
No, I'm good. Continue.
Because I see another one there.
Hold on, I do have something in my pocket for you. Hold on one second. There you go.
Oh, he's got a plethora of those things. And the fact that you give them to me all the time means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Love is love.
Love is love. Love is love. But my favorite thing that I give them all the time is this. Yeah.
That's only when the Giants are playing.
That's true.
But
Sorry.
no, seriously, that's when he pulls it out the most.
Yeah.
The poo emoji. But what I was saying is, we went on this thing where you got to show love to the breweries that you started to take for granted, because they'll go away. They'll go away.
Yeah.
So we did about 5 straight shows where at least one of our beers was one of the OGs.
Anchor. Yeah, we did. Yeah, absolutely.
So I got to do a Pacifico, just Pacifico all day.
Is that a kitty?
Yeah, she's not leaving me alone, but yeah.
What's her name?
Her name's Tesla.
Tesla.
He's 12 years old, so this is before Musk was huge.
I was going to say, you had Tesla before he did. So
Yeah. He was
not before Nikolai did, but before Elon.
So she's named after Nikola Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome.
We had a really dear friend who her major was in her PhD was in genetics, and so she had this, and she passed away a few years ago. So we took on her cats, and this was one of them. Is Tesla, and she's my black cat.
Nice.
Tesla's one of my favorite things. You know what they call a Tesla if it's been carjacked, right? In Edison.
Edison. Well done.
Love that one. Tesla. My oldest son's a huge Tesla fan, and that's my fault. He was doing he had to do a paper on a famous historical figure, and I'm trying to talk him into Tesla. He's come up with a whole bunch of other things, and I'm saving. I've got the whole card. I'm saving the whole card.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, I'm telling him he invented this, he invented that, he invented this, he invented that. He's not too impressed yet. I said, oh, and he also made a death ray. So he was 13 at the time. So death ray.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. He is still, to this day, humongous Tesla fan.
Yeah. Same. And the cat.
And the cat.
And the cat. And the cat.
John, what are you opening up?
I'm opening my third beer.
What you
My
got?
third beer.
there?
I came back to the East Coast for my third beer.
You had told me what you were drinking today, and I wasn't listening. So
I didn't pour yet, but I'll show you the can first. It is Treehouse. It's their Scotch ale. Now,
you told me you were going to drink this.
No, they have. I'll put it up. What it is? They have their One World is their regular Scotch ale. I think it's like 8%, something like that.
Right.
It's fantastic Scotch ale. They also have a barrel aged Scotch ale, and it's called Ancient World. And I wanted to have a Scotch ale. I always do a Scotch ale or two throughout the winter, right? But on the show. But I wanted to do it on this
while he's wearing his kilt.
Well, not just that, but I mean an ancient grain, Fonio, and Ancient World is the barrel aged version. This is when worlds collide. They blended One World and Ancient World, so it's half non-barrel aged, half barrel aged. So there you go, and that's what this is. So.
So it's 3/4 barrel aged.
So it's
No, half barrel aged. Never.
half barrel. It's half barrel aged. Yeah. So there you go.
But
I love Scotch ales. It's so good.
Oh,
And
of
course,
trade style.
Again, Treehouse in Charlton, Mass.
I've heard good things.
Amazing thing.
You never had a treehouse?
No, not a.
We gotta
not
get
that I
Jimenez.
remember.
We gotta get Jimenez some treehouse.
You got to get you some Treehouse.
Anytime that John and I are anywhere near that, we'll let the other one know they're there, and we'll proxy for them. You can place the order online, and we just proxy and
pick it up.
The first time that John did that, he kind of regretted it because he probably
you bought 3.5 cases. You bought.
I
bought 1.5 cases. Fair enough, but I walked out there with 5 cases of beer, and it was just for me and him. That was it. So.
Yeah, and I really did a number on his gas mileage on the way home.
No, and I put it in proper glassware. There you go.
There you go. Oh, I like that blue.
It's beautiful.
That's nice. So.
Good blue.
And it's look at the color of that. I mean, it's a Scotch ale. Look at that.
Super dark.
Mm. So what beers do you have in the tank right now, David?
That's stupid good. Anyway,
what beers I have in the tank?
Yeah, we doing there.
There's on the East Coast and the Midwest. There's a lot of people doing gluten-free sours, so we're really leaning into the gluten-free game.
Really?
So we have gluten-free sours. I have one that Oregon Fruit came out with.
Had a gluten-free sour.
I have never, but I avoid gluten-free beers. So
no, but I mean, I usually try them if I come across them or whatever. I'll give it a try to see what it's all about or whatever. But I mean, I take that back because Departed Souls has done a couple of gluten-free sours. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, that's true. They have.
The Oregon Fruit came out with this Sicilian lemon puree, and I have been obsessed with Italy for the past 3 years, and I made a limoncello gluten-free sour. And my team and I did. I can't say me. It's not. It's a whole team effort. We
already left hanging around.
What was that?
Might you have any left hanging around?
It's in the tanks, right? You said
in the tanks.
Oh, it's in the tanks. Oh, okay. I thought this is something you did already.
Well, we're in the tank segment of the show.
Oh, all right. I missed that.
I know because you're the one that usually prompts it, but
I am. I was concentrating too much on that. So
I was trying to pull you out of your glass.
I must have eaten too many of those
butter cookies.
Butter cookies.
I was trying to pull your head out. I was trying to pull your head out of your glass.
Out of my glass.
Yeah. I played. No, that one's in there, and then we're working on a gluten-free IPA. So that one, there's a company out of Denver area called Grouse, and they do a bunch of millet and gluten-free products. Yep. So we're a big customer of theirs, and our gluten-free has been taking off, and this Fonio has been taking off. So we're doing a gluten-free IPA. So we're messing with some strata hops and an IPA and seeing if the market needs an IPA out there, because the only gluten-free IPA you can get readily available in Utah is from Ghost Fish. And
okay.
Great beer, good beer.
I love Ghost Fish.
But I would like my own.
How's Jay doing, by the way? Speaking of Ghost Fish.
Well, she's in Australia.
Good for her. Just taking
no,
a trip.
She's currently living in Australia. Yeah, she up and left. She met someone out there, or she met someone and went out there for them, and it's hard to get in contact with her because you can only contact her through social medias.
Okay.
Because they're like on the other side of the world.
Yeah, there's a time difference.
Yeah, and so she's last time I talked to her, she was doing really well.
Good for her. Right here. Yeah, she was a great guest. It's great having her on the show.
Besides that, my coworker is he's one of the best in the state to do pivo or tamaves, so Czech style beers, dark lagers.
I love them.
We might like those.
We have a Czech lager in the tank, and it's the last time I made it was just amazing. He's so good at it, and that's his specialty. So obviously I've helped position people to put them in like, hey, play to your strengths. And so we have one brewer that does IPAs really well. He does lagers like no one else. And so
yeah.
What do you got there, John?
No, I'll save it for next week. But there may or may not be a smoked Czech dark lager that I'll be having on the show next week. And if I do happen to see Dave this weekend, he may have it on the show as well. So.
We may. We're next week is our annual Rauch beer show.
Yeah.
Ooh.
With John Hall, who is we've given him so many names. Baron von Rauch, Baron von Rauch. I think we need
on a dare back probably 4 years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago. He was in it was in Denver, and on a dare he was he brewed. He was challenged to make a Facebook page, and he made one called This Week in Rauch Beer, and it's taken off. He actually has merchandising, and it's one of the bigger beer Facebook groups that there is.
Yeah,
it's all about smoke. It's all about smoked beer. There you go. He has his glasses. This Week in Rauch Beer.
Awesome.
This will get some play next week on.
Have you guys ever stockled a smoked beer?
No,
I have
you know
not.
what stockling is?
Yeah,
Beer stockling?
I haven't. The hot poker. Yeah,
I've never done it to a smoked dark beer. So if you guys get a chance, let me know.
I mean, you do something with like a 10% super, like a barley wine or something that's
stout.
big, even a stout like a barley wines. I haven't had. I've been fortunate enough to have it with a barley wine. It was a lower barley wine. It was an old ale / barley wine kind of a thing, which is right up my alley, right? But I haven't had it with a smoked beer. That would be amazing.
Nothing that's super hoppy, because we've stabbed pilsners before, and it's the worst thing in the world. Don't do it. But very smoke malt forward beer, I think, would be interesting.
That, and then there's the Hot Rocks beers, where they throw.
Oh yeah, it's stone. They put stones in there.
Stone rather than the poker. Yep.
There you go. I mean, it achieves the same. I mean, it's just caramelization is basically all it does.
Yeah,
it's doing.
Yeah, but the thing is with the poker, it's the metal as well adds something to it, where the rock doesn't have that. So
it depends on how hot the poker is and how long you leave it in there too. I mean, it's gonna have a little bit of a difference between a steel poker or an iron poker, whatever you're using, versus rocks.
Oh,
right. But I mean, it's still gonna be close.
But the thing is, the way you do the rocks is like you're leaving them cold for a while, so you're adding a little bit more smoke.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. Interesting.
You're not just a hat rack, my friend.
It's not just He's been proving that time and time again on this show more than anything else.
Don't get used to it. Don't get used to that.
The name of the title of this show when it goes up on the audio podcast is
"Don't Get Used to This."
I'm just going to say it's not just a hat rack, my friend.
But don't get used to it.
Well, there you go. But don't get used to it. Yeah. So anyway, what's up with Tastemasters?
So Tastemasters have kind of at a standstill the past 3 months, 4 months.
Well, if you want to do another episode, I know a couple guys that wouldn't mind coming on with you.
Yeah, not at all.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. I need to make sure that you guys get certain beverages from Utah, though. That's what I really want to showcase. And so I got to send this to you. But with Tastemasters, I'm trying really hard to take it visual, as in like YouTube and so forth. But guest to guest, I still like that face-to-face podcasting. That's where I'm really, I think I strive better. And then cheersing, just having that energy with that individual across the table. So
I'll be honest with you. I understand where you're coming from 150 million%. But the beginning of the show, like, I mean, I've done podcasts where we're sitting across from people, and it's the energy. It's 100% a give and take, and like from the get go, it's right off, right? But this, right? Like take. I mean, this is the third show you've done with us, right? The first 10 minutes of the first show, we built up to it, and then we were good to go. The second and third show, we were fine. You know, so the energy was there, and everything was fine. It's not a bad thing to do. You just got to use the right, media and the right format. But put it on YouTube, it's just amazing. It just opens you up to, and I'm not even talking about me and Dave. That's irrelevant. It just opens you up to a lot more. You can get a lot more. You could do a lot more shows and have a lot more people, like the guys from Carlsberg.
You want more cookies?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Can I have a couple more cookies, please? the guys from Carlsberg, they're over in Denmark, right? I mean, just have them on the show.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I
And-
say. It opens up to more geographic options.
Way more.
I've thought about it. So that's where I'm kind of in this again. Standstill is the best word for it, and not that I've lost my drive, but I've misplaced it right now. And
You're busy
I
with
heard it.
work, right? I mean,
work's been busy, but
we
I've
get
also
it.
been focusing on trying to.
You're busy making history.
I've been busy,
Well,
but I'm also
he literally is, right?
Yeah, literally.
yeah, and I'm focused on myself. So I'm trying to do a lot of self care. Not that it sounds really like today's day or hippy dippy, but
It's January.
it's January.
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tesla.
Tesla's decided that.
But I've just been focusing on me, and so I think right now in my life, my home life is fantastic, and my home life balance is great. And
That's good. That's cool.
so, but whatever you focus on and you make considerable action towards, you get a lot back. And so, not that I've taken away from, I think my podcast has been taking kind of a backseat while I'm focusing on trying to develop like Fonio beers and new beers at Kiitos and writing the tailwinds on a gold medal, and then my home life. So when I'm at work, I'm at work, but when I'm at home,
You're home.
my wife, my cats, and me. I've been doing a lot of. I get up at 4 a.m, do a lot of breathing and exercise and yoga. I recommend yoga for anyone. It's not about flexibility, about mind and body.
As long as it's not about flexibility, because I lost my flexibility about 20 years ago. So.
But I'm digging the banner behind you there.
Yeah,
It's funny because it's moon phase, but there's 7 moon phases there, and the way the guys see it is like we're using the moon phases as chakras. What are we doing here?
yeah. So they're trying to do chakras, and then around it is you see the sun around them, right? So
Yeah. So you got the aura going, the chakras going. That's yeah. I was paying attention to that. That's really kind of cool.
this is the room I'm in is our office, but also happens to be no cats are allowed actually. So
Apparently, Tesla did not get the message.
No.
but it's our office and yoga space, so we've been using it a lot. And I think my wife and I in the wintertime in Utah, I needed the sun, so I think I hibernate in the winter. So it's kind of a multiple facet. David's avoiding the world and trying to hyper focus on what's important to him right now.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
But
What's the temperature in Utah right now?
This morning was 17 degrees, and this afternoon it jumped up to 34 degrees.
It's colder here.
New Jersey was 19.
I would hate it there.
It was 19 today.
Here, and I'm 4 blocks from the beach. Okay, it was 12 degrees this morning with I think the wind chill was -6 this morning, and it jumped up to 18.
Yeah, so I can't do that. Anything north of Salt Lake if you do the longitude and latitudes, like I told my wife nothing north of Salt Lake ever.
And we're generally warmer here. I mean, I'm 4 blocks from the beach. We're generally warmer here because of the ocean. The ocean, like if you go a mile west of me, it's colder, or it's colder in the winter and warmer in the summer. Like it balances out. The ocean kind of keeps it a little bit more regulated, but not much. But
I think you said that backwards. It's a little cooler by the beach in the summer
and warmer in the
winter.
No, that's what I'm saying. I was saying west.
Oh, west. Okay.
West is cooler. West is colder in the winter and warmer in the summer.
Well, we're getting this Arctic blast from the north, and it's dipped very, very south into the U.S. My son, who lives in Columbia, South Carolina, calls me today. He's like, "Father, I think it's the apocalypse." Look, what are you talking about? Because there's this white stuff coming out of the air. What is this? How do I deal? Now, he grew up in New Jersey, so he's just kidding.
He's full of shit. He's busting.
Well, he's my kid. Of course, he's full of shit.
It came from Canada.
Canada sent this down, and this is Canada's revenge for Trump trying to annex them.
It's
It's just a joke.
I know.
I know it's not a political thing, but But I think that's what's going on. They sent this down like, okay, you want to have Canada party yet?
Yeah.
Here you go. This is what
some snow.
Here's Canada. Hey, New Orleans, this is Canada because it was cold in New Orleans when we left. It was 23 degrees when we woke up.
There was an Arctic blast that came all the way down. It was ridiculous. It really was.
So when it comes to the cold, I'm a wuss, so I wouldn't survive. What you guys are dealing with? No.
Oh, I've got plenty of padding and the insulation going, so I'm good in the cold.
Yeah. Just see we circle back now, right? This is anybody out there, the Gen Zers that just want to drink lighter beers and don't want those calories. This is where those calories help you.
It's called insulation.
Exactly.
No, but go for it.
And we have six-pack abs. We just have protective coating over.
You have a six-pack. I know you don't, but you may call yourself six-packs. I have a keg. All right. All right. I'll do myself a solid. It's not a half; it's a sixtel, but it's still a keg. It's not a six-pack. So.
Not a quarter barrel.
It's not a quarter. It's getting close to a quarter barrel.
But I might wind up in Utah. Kerry read an article how someone explaining how the New York City area is really just a self-made prison. Mm-hmm. So it's like we need to get out of here. We need to get to Utah. Because when we retire, that's where we're planning on going. So I may be able to do a face-to-face at some time, Dave.
Hey,
I'm definitely getting out there. Justin and I are definitely coming out that way at some point soon, within the next year or so. We're going
anytime.
Out there, so.
Anytime you guys in this neck of the woods, let me know. I mean, anytime any of your listeners.
Definitely. We'll put that out there too. But I got to get out to Denver again at some point this year, and if I can swing it, I'll throw a couple 2 or 3 days to swing up.
Make sure the snow's melted.
Well, no, it's not going to be late in the year or now. It's going to be in the middle. So,
summertime. The best time.
Summer. Yeah. I mean, somewhere between somewhere between spring and fall in that.
That's called summer.
No, not including spring and fall.
Oh, yeah, the time period between spring and fall.
No, not including.
I'm pretty certain we call that.
I'm including those months. All right.
Oh, I see you. Okay, I'm following you now.
All right. I didn't have as many of those cookies as you did. All right, so we're good. There you go.
Oh, speaking of, I've got cookies.
Go eat.
Actually,
my food's downstairs and I smell
it. These do not go well with it.
I was going to say, but you know what's funny though? They would probably go fantastic with the last years that I've had.
With that. Absolutely. You'd want to dip them in those.
Exactly. I got to get up that way again. I got to get up to Worcester anyway. Worcester, if you will.
I was going to say, you said it wrong.
I said it wrong. And we might have a guest or two coming on from Worcester. And we have a couple we have a guest that we always have on the show, and a commenter, if you will, that we always have commenting on the show that would like royally
roast you for saying
for saying Worcester.
And I got to meet one of those for the first time.
You did. He's been on the show 19 times, but we never met the guy, right? So.
The brew guru, John Starodomsky, I met him and he told me to tell you, I now have proof that Dave actually exists. The samurai is a real human being. We have no proof that Johnny actually exists.
He texted me and he said the exact same thing. He said, "Get your ass down here so I can prove that you exist too."
He told me to say that on the show. But he's working tonight, so that's why he's not commenting or watching.
Right.
And our other major commenter is also got called into work tonight because he said he was gonna
bullshit.
Yeah,
it's
well, the thing is,
we have a bunch of watchers right now. I mean, we have people watching the show, but there's apparently not commenting. The only commenter we had was Brian. Brian, if you're still watching, make another comment other than
something. Let us know you're still there.
Let us know you're still there.
Well, I told Doug, I'm like, we're having Dave Jimenez on. He's like, screw that, I'm not watching.
He did not.
No, he didn't. He's like, well, who's Dave? So I told him, like, he's the head of the brewer over at Kiitos, really cool guy. He's like, because when I'm on break, I'll try to, hop on real quick. But yeah, so he's working tonight as well.
Not mad, just disappointed. That's all.
Yeah, well, I'll let Doug know you're disappointed in him.
Doug's great. Doug,
Such a good guy.
I mean, yeah, of all of our regular commenters, I'm shocked that Doug is not commenting that, but he's working. So
Because he's working, that's why.
he's working. So, but there are others like another Dave. So it'd be three
Camp?
Daves.
Camp?
Yeah.
Camp's not commenting.
Camp's not commenting.
I bought 2 of your Super Bowl boxes. Throw a comment.
Damn you, Camp. So, anyway.
Yeah, if you want to get in the Super Bowl, find Dave Campanile and
exactly
get some boxes.
It's a Super Bowl pool, $25, and it benefits the polar bear plunge. Special Olympics, which it benefits the polar bear plunge, which benefits the Special Olympics. There
yes. Yeah, money goes. That's where the money goes. So I support them every year for that.
100%.
And one of these years, I'll do the polar bear plunge again.
Yeah, I mean, I literally can drive there in 10 minutes where they do it. So
yes, you can.
So, but I never do. So
You've never done it?
I've never done it. I've never done it. If there was, you know what? If they did it in Belmar.
Here he is bragging about the insulation and the blubber to keep him warm, and he's never
let's go.
It's not a matter of being too cold or worrying about that. It's a matter of me getting my ass out of the house in that temperature to go get in the ocean, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes south of me in Seaside. But
the trick to it is you start off really bundled up and you get onto the beach early. First, you got to pregame. You've got to get your antifreeze in. Yep, you pregame. Mm-hmm. And then when you get to the beach, every 10 minutes, another layer comes off. Mm-hmm. So you just acclimate. And then when they blow the horn and you go, you just tear into the surf. You just don't think about it. You go.
And when you get too cold, you turn around and walk out.
Well, see, so the team that I was on, we had a rule. If you didn't go under, you did not go in. And we will pick you up and toss you into the surf. There was one time though, it was I think it was 19 degrees outside, and the water temperature was about 35 degrees. And we did make the call.
It's always warmer when you do the polar bear plunge. It's always warmer in the water.
There was one year where it was 40. The water temperature.
You get in the water. You don't want to get out. You're comfortable in the water. You don't want to get. The problem is the ambient air outside the water.
And the wind's blowing.
Yep. Well, there was one year it was 42 degrees air temperature, 40 degrees water temperature. That was the worst year, actually.
Yeah,
that hurt. But no, there was this one year. It was the ambient temperature was the air temperature was 19 degrees. The water temperature was about 35, and we not only did we rescind the rule that if you didn't go under, you didn't go in. We rescinded the rule that you actually have to go in. It's like if you don't want to go in, because we're talking life-threatening here now. So we rescinded that rule. But usually, if you didn't go under, we're going to make you go under. One way or another, you're going under.
Yeah, because remember, the ocean can get lower than freezing because there's salt in the water.
Yes, it can.
Right.
It hasn't happened yet that I've known of during the plunge.
Like, yeah, I defy somebody to show me, and I'm sure there is somebody out there. I'm sure there's something out there somewhere. I defy somebody to show me a saltwater ocean frozen. Right? So
you get ice in the froth. But that's just along the froth.
Right, exactly.
They call that rime, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's called rime. Or is it? Or is that just a spray? Spray freezing. That's right.
Spray freezing is rime. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about salt water, and Dave lives in Salt Lake City. So
exactly.
Yeah.
You guys ever do polar bear plunges into the Salt Lake?
Not Salt Lake, no. And Salt Lake's like dying right now. There's a people are trying to conserve it because we're trying to dry up Salt Lake for some reason. We're pulling too much water from it.
Really?
There's a whole thing where Salt Lake might not be a thing in the near future.
Is that right?
It'll be. It's going to be like the Bonneville Salt Flats, where people will be racing cars across it.
Yeah.
So they're going to change the name of Salt Lake City to Salt Flat City.
Salt Flat City. Yeah. Salty City.
Yeah.
Salty Sand City.
Yeah. Salt Mormon City.
Salty Mormon City.
Salty Mormons.
They can get salty.
Salty Pinball City. God damn.
Salty Pinball City. Pinball City. It's out there, man. Anyway. All right. Hey, I think it's time for our top three. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Tonight's top three, as we all know, and we don't have to explain it to Dave because he's been on the show before, but yesterday, we'll say this. Yesterday was was National Cheese Day.
A day near and dear to my heart because I love cheese.
I love cheese. Yeah, there's not many more things, and there are a few, but there's not many more things above cheese for me. So tonight's top three list is top three favorite cheeses. Top three favorite cheeses. Dave, not Samurai. David Jimenez. What are your top three favorite cheeses?
I'm sorry with from the bottom to the top, but my number three, because I'm Mexican, I love Mexican blend cheese. Anything Mexican blend.
Describe what you mean by Mexican blend.
Sometimes they put a spicier cheese, I think it's pretty stereotypical, but they put a Monterey Jack with like a cheddar, or a Monterey Jack with a white cheese, but they like to treat some type of spicier cheese with a
Jack and cheddar, or Jack and Colby, or Jack and
like a taco blend.
Yeah,
taco
exactly.
blend. Yeah,
perfect. Yeah. So Mexican blend, obviously, and then there's a girl named Brie. I love anything Brie. Love it.
Now, is there a specific girl named Brie, or just a girl?
Any girl named Brie.
Any girl named Brie, right?
Brie. So, and then number one has to be my wife, the big cheese.
Oh, someone just got a lot of points.
I know my place, gentlemen.
Happy wife.
All right.
Wife.
There you go. Oh, I got to type sucker. Hold on one second.
No,
I'm kidding.
Don't do that.
I'm kidding. Never mind. All right. Samurai, what are yours?
I've got one honorable mention, and that is Manchego.
Of course you do. What is it?
Manchego.
Manchego.
Love Manchego. I love that little tartness that Manchego's got. It's like it looks completely harmless, and you take one bite of the little tart, there's a little bite to it, and love Manchego. But my number three, I love Fontina.
Fontina's fantastic.
It's just I love the way Fontina melts. I love it in a French crepe, a cheese crepe with Fontina. It's just Fontina and ham in a croissant. It's just love that flavor. Just love Fontina. Number two, and I don't mean to one-up you here, Dave, on the Mexican, but cotija is one of my favorite cheeses.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! It's anytime that we're going to do tacos in the house, I got to go get cotija.
You have to.
And I put that in one of those like grinders, one of those hand shredders, and just put that all over my tacos until you can't see the damn taco anymore.
Wise man.
Love cotija.
Hey, we've been saying it the whole entire show. It's not just a hat rack.
Not just a hat rack.
But my number one, this goes, you say you're starting to get into everything Italian. Gorgonzola.
Really?
I absolutely love funky cheeses, and there's some gorgonzolas that I think are made like more towards the American palate, which are just a little bland for me. It's those really funky, creamy gorgonzolas, or a buttermilk, crumbly gorgonzola even. But gorgonzola, love it, absolutely love it.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Hold on. Here.
He's typing all this stuff in.
I am. I just
trying to remember how to spell gorgonzola.
Oh no, that's spelled right. It's all good. It's all good.
What are you doing? Did you forget your three? Were you changing your three? Or?
I'm adjusting a couple of things because of what was already said. So here we go. All right.
Was you gonna say my wife too?
I had that as my number two.
That's bullshit.
Right.
We'll talk to her.
It's like, John, you probably don't want to visit Salt Lake City anytime soon.
Redacted.
Remember, he's Mexican.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So my number honorable mention. There you go. My honorable mention. I have one. Is Colby actually?
It's a good dude.
Yeah. Colby itself. I mean, and it can be anything. It can be a Colby added to cheddar. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, these are my top three, right? And I'm using Colby as an honorable mention. I love Swiss. I love cheddar. They're amazing cheeses, but these we're going with our top three, right? Things I have the most of, things I gravitate towards, so forth and so on, right? My number three, Roquefort.
Roquefort, really?
Roquefort.
So you went with a mold cheese.
Moldy cheese, right? Not blue cheese, Roquefort, right?
Right. But Gorgonzola is not a blue cheese.
Gorgonzola is not a blue cheese. Roquefort's not a blue cheese. It's a moldy cheese like your Gorgonzola, but right. I remember once years ago, I had one of the best steaks I've ever had. Was not now. Granted, I've had many steaks, right? But one of the best steaks I've ever had was actually a steak. It was smothered in a Roquefort. I mean, there was other things with it, right? It wasn't just Roquefort dressing or Roquefort cheese. There was other things mixed in with it. It escapes me right now, but it was like the Roquefort and the steak was amazing. So Roquefort's my number three. My number two, ricotta.
Which, interestingly enough, my son, who I just went on this road trip with, has a black cat as well named Ricotta.
Ricotta. There you go. Or as some Brooklyn Italians will say,
Ragot.
Ragot. That's Ragot. That's Ragot. Right. Yes, that Italian cottage cheese, if you will. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Italian curdled milk. Yes.
Pretty much, yeah, and I use that in a lot of things that I cook. I make between my lasagna that I make every Thanksgiving and Christmas, my
cheesecake.
I make a ricotta cheesecake. I make a cream cheese cheesecake. So yeah,
it's Reuben's.
My Reuben's. Yeah, sure you go. But
he doesn't put it in Reuben's.
Kidding, yeah, it's not at all. But my number one, and you would think that I would say if I'm heading that direction. And any Italian food that I make, I would say mozzarella, right?
You can go burrata instead?
No. All of them are above Colby and Roquefort and Ricotta. Smoked mozzarella. Smoked mozzarella. That's my number one.
I like smoked Gouda a little better.
I love smoked Gouda. It's amazing, and I've had plenty of other styles of smoked cheeses, but smoked mozzarella is definitely my favorite cheese, 100%. There you go.
Well done, boys.
As Michael Imperioli, as Christopher Moltisanti in The Sopranos used to say, his favorite sandwich. Right? No, I don't say that, by the way. I say sandwich, right? But his favorite sandwich, all right, is my favorite sandwich. My favorite Italian sandwich, if you will, is mortadella with pistachios, hot supersata. All right, smoked mozzarella, and sautéed roasted peppers.
Interesting.
That's my
kind
favorite
of bread.
That is my favorite sandwich.
He just asked what kind of bread.
What kind of bread? Oh, semolina, crusty Italian semolina bread.
Yeah, making me hungry. Tell you what.
I'll eat that. If somebody made that sandwich, I'd eat it every day.
So Dave,
it would be a very bad thing, but I could eat it every day.
Come out to New Jersey, bring your wife. We'll feed you. We'll feed you well.
We'll feed you.
I'll take you up
We'll
on
give you the best beer. We'll feed you. Yes. Plan a trip. I got to get Jess and I got to get out there. I know Dave and Carrie got to get back out there, but you got to get out here too because there's a bunch of places you need to go. And we'll
she
feed
wants
you
to
while
go
you're
to
here.
New York so bad. So if I'm in New York, I'll obviously two birds, one stone.
We'll feed you in New York too.
I can walk right over there, open that window, and I can see Liberty Tower.
He's a lot closer to New York, but we're both in New York a lot.
I'm a short bus ride.
I'm an hour drive or an hour train ride. Well, it depends on when I leave too. If I leave at the wrong time, I'm a 3-hour drive. But that's beside the point.
Damn.
Uh,
Yeah, you get to New York, you let us know.
Absolutely.
you do,
And,
yeah,
and we got to get you out to Brooklyn.
100%.
My wife would die. She would love that.
Brooklyn is where the food and the beer is.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn is where the food and the beer is. There's a lot of places that you could do both of those in Manhattan too, but Brooklyn is where it's at. And I do have to say, Jess and I, with Mike and Lauren, and Dave, I know you know Mike and Lauren.
I know them. Yeah.
We were just in Queens. Well, we were in Queens, but we were just in the Bronx prior to Queens the same day, a few weeks ago, and we went to Arthur Avenue.
Oh boy,
in the Bronx, yeah, and that's Little Italy in the Bronx.
And just on the edge of that is some of the best Greek food you can have in this country.
Yeah, and Astoria too. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was.
Deal sold.
We'll take you where you need to go. Let's
Oh.
put it that way.
Yeah, I love it.
So, what's on the docket, if you will? What's coming up for Kiitos this year? The rest of the year.
This year, we're trying to lean into making a kind of like so in Utah and the TTB. This is a little fun fact I'll leave you guys with. The TTB sees sake as brewed as a beer. They see it as brewed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They tax it as a wine. So if you really look into it, anything that has 50%, 51% or more barley is considered a beer, but you can use 100% adjuncts. So I could use seltzers. Craft breweries usually make seltzers with corn sugar. That's 100% corn. You can call that a seltzer by a brewery. So we're trying to push the envelope, and we are going to make a 100% rice beer, and it's going to be inoculated like you would make sake, but it's not going to be sake. But we're going to call it a sparkling rice beverage, and see how it goes.
Perfect.
That sounds amazing.
I love the TTB. In New Jersey, like we register a New England IPA. It can't be a New England IPA. It has to be a New England style IPA because New Jersey is not New England, right? If we do a Berliner Weiss, we can't say it's a Berliner Weiss. We have to say it's a Berliner style Weiss, if you will. Because we're not in Berlin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is, right? But the thing I love the most is we brewed a Vienna lager, okay? And we had to call it a Vienna style lager because we didn't brew it in Austria.
Yeah.
Okay. Vienna refers to the malt used to brew the beer, not the town it was brewed in. And the TTB doesn't get that. So
they never will.
And they never will. So
no.
I love that.
Government agency.
Yeah. And so Utah, they don't know what beer is. So you have to be very clear. Because if I say I'm making a rice beverage, Utah will be like, oh, that sounds really cool. That TTB is the one I'm going to jump the hoops through. But according to the state of Utah, they say, how do you read the rules? Well, this is how I read the rules. So there you go.
There you go.
So that's and then we have World Beer Cup coming up in March, and so we're gonna see if we can take that coffee beer and that blonde and that pale back and see if it was a one-time kind of deal or we did some damage with it. So we're gonna try. Obviously, we got some great feedback from the judges, so we're gonna fine-tune those beers and send them back out and see if
you're gonna fine-tune a gold medal award-winning GA.
Always fine-tuning. There's always malts always changing, different suppliers of malts. There's always hops changing, fermentation techniques and cellaring techniques. There's always something you can find.
You just proved to every one of our listeners that you're a brewer.
Yeah, no, it's 100% right. But I mean, he's an artist, and I'm going to tell you why he's an artist. Right?
The true brewers are artists.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to tell you why. Right? I mean, I used to produce music. Right? I mean, you can sit and you can produce a song. You can overproduce a song, right? But you can produce a song, and if you think you have it perfect, 2 weeks later you listen to it. Shit, I should have done this differently, right? Same damn thing applies to art. Same thing applies to graphics. Any of that. Same thing applies to brewing and food and everything else.
Everything.
There's always room for change. There's always room for improvement.
Always.
Always room for tweaking.
If you're not growing, you're dying. You know, it's
100%.
When knowledge increases, behavior changes, and that's you have to keep pushing the limits. You always
Absolutely,
have
100%.
Yes, I sit here and I produce gas, and
do you try to perfect it? That's the question.
I try to perfect it.
All right.
There you go.
No, but go back to what Dave said. He's absolutely right. Knowledge.
When knowledge increases, behavior changes.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. And I stress to a lot of people, travel the world. Travel the world and your mind will open.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Your mind will open when you see that your little microcosm of life is not everything. Not everything. And you'll start to understand that people are different, and that's a damn good thing.
Yeah. If everyone was like me, it'd be so boring. Gorgeous, but boring.
I can't argue with that.
There's not a lot of room for arguing.
No.
Yeah, I get you guys. Yeah, life is beautiful, and it's Kiitos. As long as I'm there, for as long as I'm going to be there, I'm going to try to push that mash press into the dirt and keep trying things that. I mean, I would love one point. I want to put squash or different fruits in that mash press and just press them. I can't put them through the pump, but I could press them.
That's cool. What you should do is maybe around September, you should put squash in there with a little cinnamon, nutmeg, clove.
Please don't, please.
I love that.
I kid. There you go.
It keeps lights on.
And we'll drink.
That
your
is
beer,
true. That is true.
And we'll drink your beer on that one show that John makes me do every damn year.
I know. Actually, at this point,
pumpkin beer show.
At this point, it's John Starodowski that makes both of us do that.
That's true too. He shames us into it. He
does.
loves these damn things. I'm like, what is wrong with
I know.
you?
It's Starodowski's here. I'm here, and Dave is here.
Yeah, no. Just why are you making me drink this?
Some of them are okay. You love Warlock, so don't even go lock. You don't even go lock. Don't even go there. You love Warlock.
Have another cookie.
Thank you.
Historically, this thing was anathema, right? It was
an enema.
An enema. Yeah, that's probably was an enema.
Wow,
that'd be.
You guys get crazy that time of year. Good for you.
I don't know how to follow that.
Historically, David's had an enema every October.
Pretty much.
And that's why you're always down here.
There you go.
Yeah, because that's the level of the toilet seat.
There you go. Anyway, no, historically, pumpkins were used as a soluble sugar.
Because they were out of grain.
They didn't have any grain. They didn't have anything else
when
to
they
use.
brought in their first friggin' crop of barley, they stopped making pumpkin beers. And Buffalo Bill.
It was Starbucks. Starbucks started the pumpkin thing. Always been Starbucks.
No, it was Buffalo Bill.
It was Buffalo Bill. No, it was Buffalo Bill.
Who brought it back, and he wore your skin, and he made you put the lotion on it, and otherwise you get the skin again.
Buffalo Bob, not Buffalo Bill.
Oh, that was Buffalo Bob.
Oh,
right.
I thought the same thing.
Buffalo Bob, not Buffalo Bill.
This is historically accurate.
But no. It was two. Hold on. It was two things. Now Buffalo Bill started it, but it was Starbucks and this guy.
That guy right there.
That guy right there.
No, you got the wrong guy. You got the wrong guy.
Not me, Jim Cook.
No. It was Sam Calagione.
No. It was Jim Cook. Jim Cook started it.
Calagione perfected it, I think. Well,
Calagione perfected it. Right.
I think Calagione is the one who actually. Really
they're in bed together and they own the same company, so it's
Oh, and John. Oh, you're not going to put that picture up?
Well, no, I'll just say
of them in bed together because.
Well, no, that picture that I took,
John
picture I
was
just showed
invited into the room.
I was actually.
No, but also Calagione is responsible for the seasonal creep of pumpkin.
No. Jim Cook is responsible 100% for the seasonal creep. Oh, 100%.
Look at him.
Oh, yeah. No.
What is pumpkin beer?
100%. Sam Calagione does not release Dogfish Head Pumpkin until late August, right around close to September. Jim Cook, like early July, he's got his pumpkin ready to go. Yeah, Jim Cook's responsible.
But Starbucks does it right.
Don't get me started.
September through November. That's it.
Well, when in another phase of life, and Dave knows this, in another phase of life, when I was running a bar, when I was managing a beer bar, I some of the beers back in the day. Now it doesn't matter anymore. Back in the day, I had to order beer before it was brewed, just so they knew, not for me, but everybody, just so they knew how much they had to brew, right? But I did not tap with different breweries, but I did not tap a pumpkin beer in the bar I was running until Labor Day. I did not there was no pumpkin beer on tap until Labor Day. And then from then on, it was on until Halloween-ish, like within a week after.
Well, I've been seeing historically for Kiitos anyway, about that first full week in November, it just almost dies. Mm. But I like to keep mine on until through Thanksgiving and then pull it. And then the winter beer goes on, whatever.
That's the way it should be done.
Well, that's what I did too. Like in the beginning, after Halloween, whatever was left, I spray not pour it. Like I made the transition, right? So whenever the pumpkins ran out, they ran out. Whenever and as they ran out, the winter beers were going on. So
gotcha.
And it was from the time frame was definitely from Halloween through.
I wish it was a hard pull though, like November 1st, gone. Yeah.
Well, that'd be good. And a couple of times it worked too. A couple of times there was maybe one line on for a couple more days around November 1st, right? But sometimes it was, sometimes it was all the way, or at least a couple of weeks into November. But I'll tell you this: there are some pumpkin ales that they work on Thanksgiving, because to me Thanksgiving is a meld of fall beers. I know you at some point you had to pee. I know you did. But to me, Thanksgiving is a meld of fall beers and winter beers.
You're talking about the old ales. Like that's the time I bring those out. The bigger,
right? The bigger, stronger beers, right? Exactly. Yeah. But so it's a nice blend of the two, right? You still have the fall beers leading up to Thanksgiving. You get past Thanksgiving weekend, nobody wants a fall beer.
No one does, and it's weird.
But you can still have one leading up. Clearly the percentage of what you want to drink is leaning more towards winter beers and Christmas ales and so forth and so on as you get closer to Thanksgiving. But you can still have a full beer up through Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving weekend. But once you get past Thanksgiving weekend, nobody wants a full beer.
I see the same thing with like Martins and Oktoberfest style beers where. Right. Come Thanksgiving, you still have one on tap. It's not going anywhere, and I don't know why.
Nobody's drinking it. Yeah. They're delicious. They're fantastic.
Yeah, and
they're fantastic beers, but everybody wants what's, cool, what's new, whatever.
Going back to you owning or working at the bar, is you saw the trends and you got where it's going and all. I get it. I totally get it, but. As a beer maker, I just want a Pilsner on at all times.
100%.
Always. Lager on at all times.
Yeah, but that's me. That's you. That's Dave. That's right. People in the industry, right?
Well, they're wrong. We're right.
We're right. We're right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, you're seeing a lot more people are, especially I'll say it because there's that age thing where you get more around, mine and John's age where we've drank everything. We're burnt down on the IPAs, and we're getting back to those nice crisp styles, but we want something different as well, like a Fonio beer, right? But I had to do that for the audio portion of the show because 100%. Dave was holding the can up.
Anybody just listening to the audio podcast, Dave was holding the Fonio can up. Yeah.
So but it's gotten to the point where now I just want something nice and crisp that I can sit back, enjoy. That's not going to challenge me too much. Okay. There's a statement in there, just drink your fucking beer. Okay. And every now and then, I just want a fucking beer.
Yeah, it's a quick story about beer judging with my coworkers in Idaho in June. And we were judging. And you get in the habit of judging, 50, 70 beers in a whole day.
Oof.
I remember we were all done.
I don't think I've quite done that many, but I've done a few.
Yeah,
You're done, and then someone brought us a beer, and my buddy's looking at my coworker. He's looking at the beer. I'm doing this the whole like, and he looks at me like, just drink the fucking beer. and I forgot. So sometimes, like even my glass of water, like I'll catch myself.
I've done that.
Just drink. Just be.
I have done that where I have.
Hold on.
Ooh, notes of
chlorine.
Notes of hydrogen. Oh, there's some oxygen here as well.
Well, I got more hydrogen. I got like double the hydrogen than I do the oxygen.
So it's well balanced.
It's very balanced.
Yeah, I have caught myself doing that. I do that in my coffee every now and then, but I am a coffee snob, so there's a reason I do that. I want to get the aromas from the coffee. God, what smells better than coffee brewing in the morning?
Nothing smells better,
except for bacon frying.
Oh well, you said brewing. You didn't say frying.
No, what smells? No, I said what smells better than coffee brewing in the morning?
Bacon frying.
Bacon frying. Yeah, you know what? That smells like victory.
And I will say this right now, just based on that, I will be frying bacon tomorrow morning. Because I do have bacon to fry tomorrow morning. And it's already been planned. We are having bacon with whatever breakfast we have early, 7:30 tomorrow morning.
I'm glad that you have a plan.
I have a breakfast plan
and
tomorrow.
I'm glad that you.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
There's a reason.
There's a reason.
Other than the fact that you have bacon.
Just the two of us, right? So I fried a half a pound of bacon. I bought a pound of bacon on Saturday. I fried a half a pound on Sunday. It's been 3 days since. I don't want to let it go any longer. I don't want the bacon to wind up being garbage, right? So, because I put the other half in a Ziploc bag in the fridge. It's been 3 days. It's being cooked. Yeah.
So you broke. So you.
Yeah, it's just the two of us. I'm not cooking the whole pound. We're not. I was
going to say because bacon does not come in resealable packages. Therefore, it's one serving.
Well, right, but since it's just the two of us,
not just a half.
No, you're 100% right. But when it's just the two of us, I fry half. I keep saying brew. I keep thinking brew. I should say. I fry half of it, and then I take the rest, and I put it in Ziploc bag. I take all the air out. I put it in the. But 3 days. 3 days is my backs. So tomorrow morning, the other half a pound is getting fried.
When you open that Ziploc bag.
Oh yeah, brewing bacon is the next show, John.
Brewing. I would love to brew
bacon. Well, let me take the mash press.
It's the wrap. Oh, now bacon. You're thinking. Now you know what?
I'm flying to Salt Lake. We're brewing a bacon beer, and we're putting.
But the next show is the Rock Beer show, and that's brewing bacon. Bacon.
Sure. This is very.
Now that's what's the hot dog? A Lichtenheiner.
A Lichtenheiner.
Oh, I love Lichtenheiners.
The hot dog water beer. That's what it is. The hot dog. Dave loves. I like Lichtenheiners. I don't love Lichtenheiners. I like Lichtenheiners. Dave loves Lichtenheiner.
A Lichtenheiner to me smells like walking into an Italian deli. It smells like cheese and meat.
German beer, but it smells like an Italian deli.
Because it smells like cheese and meat.
They're close, I mean, they're not far.
But just remember tomorrow, John, when you do it, when you make your bacon, it's Southern Food Day tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Southern Food Day.
It's also National Hot Sauce Day tomorrow.
So I need to put some jalapenos and some andouille sausage in with my bacon.
Yeah. Absolutely, and just smother.
It's not a bad idea, actually, to be honest with you.
There you go. Actually, just make bacon grits.
You know what? And what we were talking about grits? When we were talking about grits before,
and here comes the phony
grits. There you go. We were talking about grits before. I said I want shrimp in my grits. I want andouille sausage in with those grits.
There you go. Andouille's a special thing. Oh, and then there's boudin. I did not have any boudin when I was in friggin' New Orleans. And I'm pissed off.
That's a shame. Shame on you.
I'm pissed at myself. I'm pissed at myself for that. That's a fail. It's a big fail.
But yeah, the shrimp and grits with andouille sausage is,
game changer.
I mean, yeah, I've. This is not a lie. I have been to a place that offered shrimp and grits with andouille sausage, and I've ordered two as an appetizer. Right, I've ordered 2 orders of them as my main course, as like not the appetizer. Just give me 2 of them.
It's called doing it right.
Right, exactly.
That's what that is.
So there you go. All
All right.
right. On that note, anything coming up?
John's hungry now.
Well, no, I'm getting there. We're going to talk. We need to talk to Dave for a couple of minutes when we're finished. But anything coming up on for Kiitos throughout the year, or anything that's
like an events calendar
been planned already, events wise, releases wise.
We every year we do a St. Patrick's Day beer. So we do we put spirulina in there, so it's kind of a more algae, and then we put glitter in there. So we do that one. It sells really well.
Glitter and green, I like it.
Glitter green beer. It has like this cosmic effect, and then we make.
Let everybody know too. You're talking about like edible glitter, not just
correct. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not dancer glitter.
That was the 90s. We don't do that anymore. No. And then for Pride, we have one called the Big Gay Ale, and so we always do that. It has like
love it. That's great.
Oh, that's great.
What's that glass again, Dave? The Terrapin glass.
Love is
love. There you go.
Love is love. And then we have a really cool idea for dark Mexican lager and a tropical haze with experimental T19 hops, or 1019, excuse me. And so we're going to do that again.
1019, I love 1019.
1019
is amazing. It's an amazing.
So we're going to do something with that. And then I haven't thought past June, to be honest with you. That's I kind of like going 6 months.
It's January. That's fine.
So is the dark Mexican lager for Cinco de Mayo, or?
So I am trying to push into. You said a finished brewery doing things that aren't finished. So in the realm of things, I'm trying really hard to do a dark Mexican lager, but I would like to do a dark rice lager. I want rice in there. I got corn and rice, but it's gonna be really difficult. So we're messing with different ideas of doing more corn and rice. We try to. Cerveza with more than 20% corn, blue corn.
But if cerveza, you're putting maize in it.
Yeah, but we want to fuck with the rice, like make it a rice lager, but call it a dark Mexican rice lager. If that makes sense.
That's not that.
So Mexican Japanese fusion style, done by a Finnish brewery,
brewed by a Mexican brewer. Yeah. And my coworker's Irish, so it's like,
that just makes it even more amazing.
Welcome to the United Nations. That's what we said before.
But, and we don't brew normally. We brew with a mash press. So
yeah, you gotta love it.
Well, you heard what an Irish comedian said. He's like, if you do your DNA and Irish doesn't come back, that's a false negative, because we have shagged our ways into everybody's family tree.
Yeah.
Sounds very
love that comedian.
Quick comment from YouTube. Our YouTube feed, Chairbug 3400. Holy shit! The Beer Samurai, Jersey Johnny, and Big Dave, the Oklahoma Tickler, all in one place.
I don't understand the Oklahoma Tickler. I'm a huge Oklahoma Sooners fan.
Big Dave, the Oklahoma Tickler. Do you know Chairbug 3400? So
no idea. Sounds awesome. Sounds like a pedo name, I guess.
Are you the Oklahoma Tickler? That's what I want to say.
We call in Utah. We call them the Diddlers.
And what list are you on?
A Finnish Mexican.
But I mean, was he just saying was the three of us the Oklahoma Tickler, or just you are the Oklahoma Tickler?
Yeah, I don't know which one.
I'm not
it looks
sure.
like I'm the Oklahoma Tickler.
When was the last time you were in Oklahoma?
I've never been to Oklahoma. Actually.
There you go.
I'm probably the only one of the three of us that have Oklahoma.
As far as you guys know, I've never been to Oklahoma.
Neither have I.
Actually, I'm the only one of the three of us that probably has Oklahoma roots. That's where my grandfather's from. He was from White Eagle Reservation in Oklahoma.
Which is why you're a Sooner fan.
That's why I'm a Sooner fan. Yep.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
Exactly.
Lately, it's been worse until we spanked the crap out of Alabama this year. That was awesome.
This is true. But Ohio is the national champion.
Ohio State is.
Ohio State, the
Ohio State University. Yes,
it's the national champion. So
yeah, I was actually rooting for. I usually don't root for the Irish, but I was rooting for the.
I was rooting for the Irish too. I was.
The whole country was rooting for the Irish, except for unless you lived in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But all right, Dave, Super Bowl. Who you want?
Who do I want?
Yeah.
Or who do I think's going to win?
Both.
All right, so Taylor Swift will win.
Because we're clearly probably all on the same page, and we know who we want, and we know who's going to win.
We know who's going to win. Taylor Swift and her groupies will win.
Yeah.
Who I want to win, man, I'm tied between the Commanders, Redskins, whatever the fuck, and Josh Allen. I want Josh Allen.
I want Josh Allen.
I want Josh Allen.
Like, there's either Josh Allen or
from this point, I mean,
Like-
up until 2 days ago, I was a Lions fan. They shit the bed. So now I'm a Josh Allen fan.
Hard, but they're a great team. Watching them was great this
They
year.
were.
Josh Allen, I think Josh Allen and Lamar should both somehow get one this year, but they can't.
I think
And it was a shame that the Ravens had to go up into the ice and the snow of Buffalo because the thing is they broke a trend because 24 years ago under Trent Dilfer, who was 28 years old at the time. Stop. Right?
Don't even go there because they beat the Giants in the Super Bowl. I don't even want to hear it. Keep going.
Well, put that aside for a second. And then 12 years ago, they won it with Flacco, who was 28 years at the time. Lamar Jackson's 28 years old.
So they broke the cycle.
So they broke that 12-year, 28-year-old quarterback cycle.
Now, I will tell you, I'll give you this, though. If it was 12 years from now and there was 3 quarterbacks that won 3 Super Bowls, yeah, that would be disappointing. But there was only 2, so it's not.
It was only.
No, my point is, any second one can be any year, right? So Lamar Jackson can win next year, or he could have won last year, or he could have won 3 years.
I hope he gets one. That guy is a great, him. I think they look great. He's a great athlete.
I got to be honest with you. Since the Giants lost to the Ravens in Super Bowl 35. I have not been the biggest Ravens fan by any means, right?
But this team.
But I didn't love Lamar Jackson. I appreciated, I respected Lamar Jackson. But until he said over the last couple of days what he said about Josh Allen and the Bills, I respect the man now. So
I think he's grown up a lot. I mean, he has. That Michael Vick quarterback where he couldn't throw, now he can throw, and he's playing the game better. And then them and Derrick Henry, like, holy shit, what a combo!
It's crazy. Yeah, exactly.
It's a great team, and they just ran up against Winter.
Yeah.
Daniels at the Commanders, like that rookie's having a year and a half, and it's fun to watch.
And it's fun to watch. It's not fun to watch if, as a Giants fan, you wanted them to trade up and draft Jaden Daniels. Yeah. Then it's not fun to watch. Okay.
Oh, put a Giants fan, like it's like could be worse. It could be a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. I love it.
We've been in 3 Super Bowls and won 2 of them since the Cowboys have been there. So I'm good.
But I want to see Daniel win the Rookie of the Year. I think Lamar deserves MVP, and I want to see Josh win the Super Bowl.
Win the Super Bowl, MVP of the Super Bowl. That's what I want to say.
And MVP of the Super Bowl. And then everyone's happy, and
and the Chiefs get nothing. That's I like 3, 4, 5 years ago. I actually liked the Chiefs.
I did.
Okay, and as a Mets fan, I like Patrick Mahomes because his father pitched for the Mets. Right.
Yeah.
I'm done with this Chiefs bullshit
because of the refs.
Right.
The preferential treatment that you see from the refs is just been blatant and disgusting lately. And
if anybody wants to hear more on my take and other takes on the Chiefs, tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 p.m. 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. The Get On With It Sports podcast. Yes.
Yeah, because the Anna Chaser podcast is being pushed back because Pat has another fucking meeting.
7 o'clock, 7:15, somewhere around there. The Anna Chaser podcast will be on.
And the last time he did this, I got to do this. I got to get off real quick because I got this, and this, and we had to push back because he wouldn't stop talking.
This is a meeting that has to happen at the time it has to happen. So this will happen.
Okay.
Anyway, so Dave, I'm assuming you want the Bills. You realize the Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah, Chiefs will win. Taylor Swift will win. I like Andy Reid, but again, same thing. Like I'm over the Chiefs. They were great. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike any member. I don't dislike Andy Reid. I don't dislike Patrick Mahomes. I don't dislike Travis Kelce. I don't dislike the Chiefs. I'm over it.
Let's go. I've seen too much red. Let's get some. Let's get
Let's
Buffalo
go.
in there.
Let's get Buffalo in there. Buffalo, and here's the thing:
Enough
if
insurance
the
commercials.
Eagles win, if the here's the weird thing: if the Bills do beat the Chiefs next week, which we know is never going to happen because the refs are going to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But if the Bills somehow beat the Chiefs next week and go to the Super Bowl, and the Eagles beat the Commanders and go to the Super Bowl, the Eagles are the only NFC East team that the Bills have not beaten and that the Bills have not lost to or beaten, either or, not played in the Super
I was
Bowl.
going to say, if you can't lost to, okay.
They've not played in the Super Bowl. Lost to the Giants, lost to the Redskins, Commanders, lost to Dallas twice. So,
If the Eagles get in, God, just
I hate
does Saquon get a Super Bowl?
I like Saquon.
I
love
love Saquon. I hate Joe Shane, but don't even get me on that.
It's all good.
That's tomorrow night,
5:30 p.m. Eastern time.
5:30 p.m. Eastern time. Get on with the Sports Podcast. You'll hear how I feel about Joe Shane and Saquon and the whole Super Bowl thing. So, anyway, enough of that. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, but in any event,
It'll be fun.
yeah, I think the three of us are like-minded. We want the Bills. We know the Chiefs are going to win.
Right.
There you go. The Chiefs will.
I actually kind of think it might be Josh's year.
I hope so. We all hope.
it is.
America hopes so.
I hope it is. And I think, Dave, I think you're 100% samurai. And, well, all three of us. I think you're right. Lamar, MVP.
Daniel.
Rookie of the year.
Jane Daniels, Rookie of the Year. And Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. That would be.
That's what I want to see.
Perfect. That would be perfect. That would end the season.
Which means it's not going to happen.
If Hamlin returns 2 interceptions for touchdowns, the safety for the Bills, Super Bowl MVP, that would be perfect.
That was the one thing.
DeMar Hamlin, yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
That was the thing in the game before.
Because he forced that fumble forced the fumble. Yeah,
he did. But there was the game before 2 weeks ago that he was in where Hamlin got the interception. That wasn't really an interception because it did touch the ground. Mm-hmm. All the Buffalo fandom wanted that to be an interception. Mm-hmm. The other team's fandom wanted to be an interception because it would have been worse ground position. Field position. Right,
it would have been worse field position for them.
Exactly. And the Bills were like, we don't care if it's worse field position. Hamlin got an interception in a playoff game. So
that would be fine.
That's how much that fan base loves that.
Well, I like that fan base. Philadelphia fan base.
Oh God, they're just okay. So I heard something on the internet. An idea for reality show. You take an MMA fighter, you put him in the jersey of the team that a Philadelphia team is playing, and put him in the stands.
Oh boy!
And film it. I would watch that show.
Yeah, with the Raiders, Cowboys. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
It would be. I would pay for that. Yes.
Well, you saw the one guy that was making those mean comments to that one girl.
Yeah, he's banned.
He's banned from any Eagles games, and he got fired from his job.
Oh. And the Yankees fans that interfered with that one.
I saw that one. The Yankees fans.
They are banned from any MLB.
MLB, not just Yankee games. MLB and any baseball game. He cannot go to any baseball game.
The two of them.
Yep.
Both of them.
Then Little League it up. Go to Little League. Be that guy at Little League. Go.
Oh God.
Sign up. Yeah, go to Little League and be that.
Yeah.
Those fucks.
Gotta love it. All right.
Just a game.
We will post the article about the Fonio beer.
Yep.
Fonio beer and obviously the stuff on from Brooklyn and from Carlsberg as well. And we'll get that up.
I like Carl.
I do. I do like his Berg too.
Spurg. Carlsberg.
I like Carlsberg. His Berg is amazing. So anyway, we'll post that up and we will talk to we'll comment us and we'll comment in on any of those posts or whatever. We got to get the comments to Dave. We'll let that happen.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions in the future, let me know. I'm happy to help.
100%.
Happy to answer. Yeah. But you guys have a number.
And check out everything that's going on Kiitos Brewing.
Thank you.
But on that note, we will wrap up the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerum.com. That's LAGERROM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, I can't speak right. It's those cookies. Can I have one? Give me one. Want to listen to the audio podcast? You can do so on our audio host Spreaker, as well as don't tempt me. I'll have one of them, as well as iHeartRadio.
You can't have just one.
I know. Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, TuneIn Podcast, Addict, Castbox, Deezer, Podchaser, Listen Notes. Pretty much anywhere you can find an audio podcast, you will find the Lager Room Guys Craft Beer Podcast. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. David, thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely.
Anything we get, any questions we get commented into the Facebook page and the website or whatever, we'll direct them to you. And drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we will have we'll have our great smoke beer show next week. Make sure you tune in for that. And as well as any other
with the legendary
John Hall. This week in Route Beer. Basically the This Week in Route Beer show.
You think he'll be wearing a bow tie? I don't.
He will definitely be wearing. No, it depends.
No, he hasn't worn one yet.
If he worked from home that day, he will not be wearing a bow tie. If he worked out of the house that day, he will be wearing.
Alrighty then.
That's my guess. So what we'll do is, if he's not wearing a bow tie, I'll say, we'll ask him, did you work outside today? No, I worked home today. There you go. Well, then we know. There you go. But anyway, Dave, thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate it so much.
And I just checked, there are no Buc-ee's in Utah.
No, the closest one's in Colorado. Trust me, I know.
That one.
He's actually looked for it. There you go.
It's South Colorado, yeah.
Yeah, it's in no, there's one in Berthoud.
Oh shit. They're growing up.
And there's one in Wyoming in Pinedale.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the map.
Salt Lake.
Ooh, there you go. You know what? If there's one in Wyoming, there's coming to Salt Lake soon.
Oh yeah.
There is a rumor that there might be one in South Jersey soon.
I'm hoping.
I wouldn't go anywhere near that for like 6 months, maybe a year.
Or within the first couple of days, yes, and then after that, 6 months.
And my son, I had to yell at my son because we had 2 Buc-ee's on this trip. The first one, he told me about the jerky wall. He failed to mention that there is a jerky counter.
There you go.
So second one, we get the jerky counter. That's where the fresh stuff is.
There you go. All right. Anyway, all right. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly, and we will talk to you next week, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Salud.
Eat a lot of Buc-ee's.
Eat a lot of Buc-ee's.
But eat it responsibly.
There you go.